Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank y'all so much for stopping by the live stream again. Shout out to the NTZ crew. What's up, Michael Beach of Life? It's a good Friday morning to everyone in the chat. It is, man. The sun is shining. It's got a nice breeze. I'm going to do my walk after this. Shout out to my fourth quarter members. What's up, Jeffrey Todd? He said, good morning. I'm touching down in Manila tonight. Man, I know the feeling. What's up, Cisco? What you getting? Jollibee, thighs and gravy? Heavy on the thighs and gravy? I love LaChan. The reason number one, that ass kicking flight from hell. Kamal, what's up? Yeah. All my 8,000 mile club members, or otherwise known as old heads. What's up, Reginald? He said, should be interesting. God bless you and the family. Thank you. What's up, Thomas? There's Raymond, man. I asked Raymond to send me some footage. He's at this nice resort. I said, man, send me some footage. I could use it on one of my videos. Can I show people a little bit more about the Philippines? There's Jacob Tanjay. Any new viewers and subscribers, welcome to the live stream. And anybody catching this on replay, the peso right now, while I'm talking to you, is 59.04. Let me check that again just to make absolutely sure. But I mean, that's still, crazy, man, when you think about it. Yes, then now it's 59.06. So it's went up a little bit. You're not going to beat that. I think the only place in the world right now with a stronger dollar is Dominican Republic. What's going on, brother? Yeah, we know we always have a topic. Today's topic is the top 10 reasons people don't travel to the Philippines. It's going to shock you, really, because I ran it across the top 10 reasons people don't travel, period. And the reasons people don't travel to the Philippines is no different than the reason they don't travel to anywhere else or travel, period. But there's some unique things to the Philippines. I know y'all saw about the Russian vlogger, arrested for the age scare. I don't talk about that stuff, man. It's already in the news. Why would I make a video about it? I mean, he's going to learn a lesson. Don't call fire in a crowded movie theater. Basically what he's doing, because AIDS is an epidemic over here. Fastest growing rate of AIDS in all of Asia. And he's playing games like that. They ought to punish him. But will this change your mind about jumping in and out of bed with women over here, not wearing rubbers, not asking her to go to the doctor? You not going to the doctor? Sadly, no. Sadly, no. I'm sorry. And you would think that it would. People just keep telling you over and over, man, be careful. You'll be shocked, man, at some of these women who really need to be checked. He said, yeah, you know that. Yeah, I know you're going to get heavy on the thighs, heavy on the gravy. What's up, Q? Well, we haven't seen you in a while, man. What are you doing? I thought you was back in the States. Oh, he's on the tablet. What's up, Ron? Yeah, be careful, man, when y'all coming over here. We don't want you. What's up, Sam? He said, General Trader Sam in Lancaster, California, checking in and winning. Man, I was looking in the news. There's nothing but bad news coming from America, man. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's always been crazy, but there's three guys. They were in somewhere in Florida for some type of conference or something. They were in their Airbnb and they checked out Airbnb and the car broke down. their rental car. So they're waiting on the new rental car. And I'll be damned if some fool don't come by and kill all three of them. Innocent guys. I'm like, come on, man. And this is the same guy. Look this stuff up if you don't believe me. This is the same guy who was arrested several months earlier for just shooting randomly at passersby. I'm like, well, how's he even out of jail? But he killed those three people. And now then, and coming from Houston, some guy tries to get slick and cheats the drug dealer out of $125,000. The drug dealer comes back, sees his wife, and kills his wife. Man, y'all going crazy over there. Then you want to talk about, do I feel safe? Do I feel safe over here? You damn right. I feel safe. It's so many just stories out there like this. Just crazy stories. In North Hollywood, where the fireman, this guy is a 19-year fireman. This is for you, crazy black man. You know the stress, I guess, that firemen are under. Are they under the same as the police? Well, anyway, 45-year-old, North Hollywood, discovers his wife has been cheating. Well, hell, he bludgeons her to death with an axe. Basically, assaulted her with an axe. They said when they got there to the scene, it was like something out of a horror movie. Blood everywhere. He didn't just went off on the woman with the axe. And I'm saying, look, man, if she don't want you, go on. And look, I'm saying, look, go on somewhere. It just makes the divorce easier. The chances of me having to pay any money less, and there's other women out here. She was 10 years older than him. He was 45. She was 55, a school teacher. And it's crazy. He said, Unc, did you hear that the government is about to make traveling to the Philippines more expensive by increasing taxes? Maybe they're trying to recoup the money they scammed from the flood. Well, the Philippines is always adding something like that. It's nothing new for real. It's not a whole lot. You do know that if you with a Filipino, more than likely, when she leaves the country to go to anywhere, they have to pay to leave the country anyway. 1,620 pesos. That's been going on for a long time. And then you've always had to pay to come here and leave, Q. The terminal fee used to be 750 pesos to leave. The very first time I came to the Philippines, I didn't even know that. And I'm going through immigration. They say, hey, hold on, where's your terminal fee? I'm like, terminal fee? Yeah, you got to pay 750 pesos to leave. Now it's 550. It might even be back up to 750, but they've placed it inside of your ticket now, so you don't see it. But then that's no big deal. That's no news, And on the case of, see, the Philippines is the only way you can get to the Philippines is by air and sea. So because they don't have any border, they don't share any borders with anybody, that affects their, hold on guys, I've got a Lazada. Okay, here I come. Hey, wait, here I come. I got a Lazada order, guys. Hold on. I got to get it. Yes, sir. What's the total? Hey, I apologize, everybody. I had to get this because I got a new camera and I can't use it without this flash card. And shout out to Kaz, man. Sent me a heck of a camera. Y'all gonna see a difference, man, in my footage. But anyway, I was saying the Philippines doesn't share a border with anybody. So their numbers are going to suffer because they can't easily make a visa run. See, when you see countries like Vietnam, Cambodia, even Thailand, they benefit from sharing borders because a lot of those people are simply making border runs. But once you cross the border and you stamp, that goes on, a visitor. Even though you're just going to stay there for a couple of hours or whatever, turn around and go back. Yeah, what else is Trump done? He doesn't surprise me, man. You know, go back and read, man. I'm reading a book now, and he's breaking down the Civil War and how they twisted that and flipped that upside down to make the South, to make the Confederates seem like victims, right? There's something called the lost cause and all that stuff. This is straight out of Trump. Trump is a reflection of America. America's not a reflection of Trump. The guy doesn't even mention Trump. It's just the stuff he does. Like the other day when he was talking about, getting rid of a lot of the civil rights gains because it treated white people so badly. Guys, that's right out of the playbook way back in the Civil War, man. They said the same thing. I can read it for you if you want me to. Nobody give a damn what Trump is doing. Trump ain't right, man, but he doesn't realize that the universe is watching. Yeah, would you take that, Tony? He said Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado has given her Nobel Peace Prize medal. Yeah, just the medal. Because the medal's nothing. It's the principle behind it. And because he has no scruples, man. He has no, shame. He takes it. Who wants okay, LeBron James could give me his MVP trophy or championship trophy. Why would I want that? I didn't earn it. This is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. He said, Uncle must be doing God's work because this was the most I ever seen black Americans at the Bureau of Immigration. I thought I was in Atlanta for a moment. Now, another guy said that to me, man. I can't take any credit for that. Man, people have been coming to the Philippines for a long, long time. I mean, and a lot of those people you see there, hell, they're Africans too now. Some of them are Indians. But yeah, you're right. A whole lot of more brothers are coming to the Philippines. He said, P says Filipinos tax to leave the country depends if it's business class or economy, $2,700. Yeah, see, when you buy a ticket, depending on, like whenever me and my wife used to come here to the Philippines and leave, I used to have to pay 1,620 pesos for her to leave the country. That's why if you got a Phil-Am child, you use the Filipino passport coming here and the U.S. passport going back to avoid paying that. It may have went up, but the last time I checked, it's still 1,620. Yeah, that tourism tax, but it's not going to be a lot, guys. You know, remember I told you the Philippines makes up for its lack of visitors over here. You're not even going to feel it because they're probably going to just put it in your ticket price like they did the. Do you realize that we pay a terminal fee coming in and out of this place, man? It costs you to come in and out of this place. I'm just telling you. Yeah, it's not trans. He just wants the medal, you know. But I doubt that they'll do anything with that Greenland. They're not going to do anything with that Greenland, man. I promise you that. But yeah, let's talk about, okay, the top 10 reasons. We're going to talk about the top 10 reasons people don't travel, period. All right, because only about 5% of Americans travel overseas each year. I'm not talking about leaving the country, going to the DR, going to, Jamaica and all those places, Mexico. I'm saying overseas, Africa, Europe, Asia, Southeast Asia. Only about 5% do. We travel very little, guys. But the first one, which is obvious, this is why most people who watch my channel and all these channels over here, they're armchair bros. Cost. The cost is number one. It says travel expenses, including flights, accommodations, and activities, can be high for many individuals. And that's what stops a lot of people in their tracks. Get your money up, guys, before you talk about traveling. And certainly over here to the Philippines. Okay. I got this down here too. This isn't on the list, Paragraphics, but this is what I've got on my list. Okay. Hey, Confident Voice Speaks. Thanks for that super chat. He said, Uncle Cal, hope all is well. I'm in Florida right now. I'll be in Singapore in a couple of weeks, starting to film my first video of my series tomorrow, man. Congratulations, brother, on accepting that new position. You one of those successful guys that's part of the fourth quarter. You one of the fourth quarter members, man. The Sunshine Shoulders community. But yeah, man, document that. He said my name will be changed to Confident Voice Eats. No, I would keep it Confident Voice Speaks. I'm the only guy stupid enough to have my real government name out there. But yeah, the cost, guys, okay. This is things we always talk about, but it's going to get deeper as to why people don't travel. You know, they think they're going to live to be 1,000 years old. I can do it next year. And then the next thing you know, it's 40 years. You done retire from your job and you never leave. But we talk about this one all the time. Time constraints. Busy schedules and limited vacation days can make it difficult for people to find time to travel. Who was part of the 2-week club over there? You get 2 weeks of vacation and you can't take it all at once. He said, yeah, no, Unc, all the black guys were Americans. I was shocked, but your impact is definitely real. Well, I appreciate it, man. I hope so. I hope so because there's 3 Philippines experiences over here. And I don't want y'all to miss this. One is the tourist who comes over here for, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. One is the expat, and then one is the vlogger. I think people get the wrong impression of the Philippines based on the vlogging experience. It's totally different. If you come over here and you're not a vlogger, it's just a regular tourist or a regular expat, you're really going to enjoy yourself, man. It's totally different. There's no drama. You see the drama that goes on in this so toxic vlogging community, and it's a stain on the Philippines, but really it's not. But those are 3 experiences. Okay, just know which one you are and know what your experience is going to be. If you're a vlogger, it's going to be stressful, man. Certainly one that reaches, that gains some traction. He said, I'm hating, Unc. I'm facing a blizzard and you're abroad. Yeah, boss. I saw that. Everybody's getting ready, man. All them Houston people and all those people talking about, yeah, it's Philippines. It's just as, it's not as hot as where I come from. Bullshit. Y'all ready to get all that snow? A friend of mine, Steven, he's got a channel. He don't really do a whole lot. He lives in Wisconsin. Man, for the next 2 weeks, it's nothing but minus something where he is. So, yeah, man, it's a great time to be in the Philippines, man. I got tired of that cold weather, man. I couldn't deal with it, man. I know it's romantic with the snow coming down. You're looking out the window. You got the heat going. You watching a favorite movie or something. You cuddled up. I can't deal with that. Because eventually you got to go outside and deal with that ice and all that. But fear of the unknown is number 3. He said 6 weeks with me, but I can't take it all at once. Yeah, they fire you. They fire your butt. He said concerns about safety, language barriers, or unfamiliar cultures can deter potential travelers. Yeah, we're in our comfort zone. We've created that box for ourselves, and we're afraid to get out of that box. I was watching something, Will Smith has a series now on National Geographic. See, he's in his niche right there when he does stuff like that. And he's going from North Pole to the South Pole, or South Pole to the North Pole, and everywhere in between. And he said his mentor told him that if you're not afraid, you're not living. He said, if you're not scared, you're not living. And some of the stuff that he does and that he's done in his life, and I'll say the same thing to anybody out there. If you're not scared, you're not living. So the fear of the unknown, it's real, just like Paragraphics was saying. He was talking about people afraid to fly. I never had a problem flying until 2015. But once I get on the plane and they shut the door and they taxi in, I'm okay then because I know there's no turning back. It's the 2 weeks before I get on the flight that my mind starts working. Not realizing it's the safest form of transportation. I was reading where a guy back in 1982, he bought a ticket that was being advertised by United Airlines for $250,000. He could fly anywhere, anytime, first class. And he's been doing that ever since. Sometimes he'll just fly to Paris for dinner, get on a plane and fly back. Right? He's been doing that. He's cost them over $1 million. He just flies. Sometimes he'll just take his friend somewhere. Then he paid $150,000 3 years later for a ticket where he can bring a companion with him. Well, of course, they don't offer anything like that anymore. I believe they said he's taken over 10,000 flights. He said, Texas is about to get hammered. I'd be freezing. Praying power does not go out. Yeah, but they always talking about how hot it is over there. He says, I feel like if I down the plane, then it's my time to go. That's why I'm not worried about it. He said, Unc, my bank account is frozen, but when I get back home, I'm going to bless the chat like the church members in that Drewski skit. Yeah, that Drewski skit got people, the church members, because he's telling the truth. People don't like that, man, especially the toes he's stepping on. But It's true. I've been watching that stuff since I was little. Jimmy Swaggart and them and all of them. And all, even people you don't even know, they touch you and you can walk again and all that stuff. They've just got a little bit more sophisticated now. And, you know, if you go in a church, mostly old people and women in there, old people know they're getting close to dying, so they trying to put some insurance on heaven. They really purchasing some heaven insurance, and that's what the preachers are selling, heaven insurance. If I tried to do that, if you do that, and it's anything but religion, you're going to get locked up with scams. Imagine you're selling real estate in heaven. You're selling heaven insurance. Come to church every week, pay your tithes and this and that. You're going to heaven. That's insurance, man. The tithes and the offerings, that's the premium people are paying. Y'all better wake up, man, to what's going on. People are trying to buy their way into heaven. Yeah, but it ain't hot now. Yeah, you're healed. But we talk about this next one all the time. Family responsibilities. You know, there's many guys who told me that, Cal, yeah, I'm coming over for 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm not going to be able to stay until my daughter or my son finishes high school. I turns 18. Or I'm taking care of my mother and father. Family responsibilities. That caring for children or elderly family members can limit a person's ability to travel. And I can understand that. But very few Americans travel. This is why we're so narrow-minded. We're a different breed, guys. You know, when you come to the Philippines and places like that, because we attract just some of the weirdest people over here. You get these Kenyans over here. Not Kerns, they're Kenyans over here. They want to police the Philippines. They've appointed themselves the Philippine police, the expat police, the YouTube police. It's weird, man, when you think about it. And all you got to do, I don't even have to say any channels. All you got to do is you watch the same channels I watch, and you think it to yourself, man, why would you waste your time with this stuff? You're not making any difference. These is Americans, man. We're weird. Okay, we don't travel. You know, we got a weird way of thinking. You know, but it's a bunch of Kenyans over here. But you won't see them unless you start vlogging. If you don't vlog, you're not going to see them. But if you vlog, you're going to see them. They got these channels. They're going around. Hey, look at what he's doing. And all this, right? I saw where a guy this is to show you how crazy we are. He's got a clip of regular guy talking to a couple of, freelancers on Walking Street. And he's encouraging people to share it and get the man in trouble. I'm like, man, you guys should stop. Really. You really should stop. I mean, do you realize these are bar girls? I mean, that they put themselves out there. Not that they don't deserve respect. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, obviously, it's okay. And that's how they get their business. So pretty soon you're going to be out there with a picket sign, with a, picketing Walking Street. That's the next thing they're going to. And here, listen to this before we keep going, before I go on. They're coming out the foreign vloggers, but guess what? Remember we say, yeah, Filipino vloggers get a pass. Well, they won't be getting a pass soon. You mark my words, when they run out of foreign vloggers, they're going to turn on these Filipino vloggers. That's talking all this sex stuff and all the time asking all of these, nasty questions and to people. Will you take it in the booty and, blowjobs for breakfast and, do you shave down there and all that? They're coming for them next. But a friend of mine, because, Pro-Life Traveler, one of his charges was he said that he called some Filipino tricycle drivers. He said they look like monkeys. And he started making the sound, which is disrespectful, right? But guess what? I'm in a van with a group of foreigners and Filipinos. We're going to Bantayan Island. And don't you know, one of the women who was with another guy, she called him a gorilla in front of everybody. We didn't know. Of course, the foreigners didn't know. The women who were with us told us that that's what she called him. And I'm like, well, it takes respect. Respect begets respect. You know, they call us gorillas over here. But I'm supposed to just keep going because, oh, I'm in the Philippines. That's not supposed to hurt my feelings. I'm supposed to just take that and run with it and be like, well, that's what you expect. What do you expect? You're in their country. No. You know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Here's a man a great guy. All he's trying to do is help you, lady. If you don't want the man, okay, that's fine. But don't call him a gorilla. You know, it made me so mad, man. And that was the last time. And we're going to Bantayan Island. He's paying for everything, the hotel, the food, everything. And she says that about him. But who we going to tell? Who you going to tell? If you say, hey, they're calling black men gorillas over here. They're going to be, well, go home then. It is a double standard, but you know, it's just what it is. He said, what's up, Saran? A lot. It was tough. I lost a lot of weight, so we're a tropical place and bunch of humidity equals easy fungal infection. Mine was internal. Wow. Actually, I almost died. I know we hadn't heard from you in a while, man. Welcome back. He said, YouTubers YouTubing about YouTubers YouTubing. Yeah, that's the circle of life. You can avoid that, though. Just don't be a YouTuber. I mean, certainly not in our genre, because you can, you know, if you take yourself out of this genre and you start talking about, why does this man keep walking past my house? I hope he doesn't realize I'm in here. I guess he wants to cut my grass or something. You're not going to get any views. You know, they put themselves in this genre that we're in because it's lucrative. Millions of dollars. But just be warned that a lot of hell comes with it. Okay, he said regular guy was a huge creep. Now, you know, everybody's a creep now. You know, you can't call that man a creep. Do you know regular guy? I met him. I don't mean I know him. But we're all creeps, man, to people. He said hugging little girls from the back. Like dude in the Jeffrey Dahmer is doing. I don't know what you're talking about. But no, guys, you know, we got to stop with all this name calling and stuff like that. Hey, Felix, what's up, man? I'll be watching your Facebook, man. You really enjoying your retirement. This is what retirement should be. This is what, like, this guy right here is what I was telling you about earlier about the three Philippines experiences. The tourist, the expat, and the vlogger. He's the expat. You can just live a phenomenal life over here. No problems, no nothing. But if you start vlogging, good luck. He said they call me a gorilla Pina. No, they call that man a gorilla, man. And it just pissed me off, man. All I got to do is think about it and it pisses me off. Because he's a good guy. He wouldn't hurt a flea. You know, one of the greatest guys I've met. You know, but he didn't know. He didn't know until he probably, I don't know if he knows now. You know, I didn't tell him. I don't want to hurt his feelings. I mean, but he's happy now. He's got a woman and everything. He's doing very, very well, but it just did something to me, man. It's like, you know, lady, who you think you are calling that man that? Called him a gorilla. He said, when Filipinos go to the States, Filipinos, they have rights over there, but we don't have any rights over here. Yeah, I have to agree with you. Not any that Filipinos have to respect. But it's just something, we gloss over culture too easily over here. People don't understand that culture is everything. It's what you eat, breathe, you do. It's everything, guys. And when you're in a country where you're from a whole different culture, expect, some craziness, expect some frustration. The women we deal with over here, they have no idea what we go through over here. They can't understand it. We don't have no family, basically no friends here. You're just over here. You have no rights. You don't vote. You don't pay taxes. But culture is something, man. I would do a video on it, but people they won't understand it. So they won't really watch it. They don't realize how big that is. This is why most of these relationships eventually end. But culture is everything, man. It's not just, you from America and you eat macaroni and cheese and they eat rice. Or they eat dried fish and you eat country ham. No, it's everything. It's the way they do things. It's the way they think. It's their decision making. Everything is different. I'm going to give you an example. And we'll go on to the next one. This is just an easy example. Me and Merle, Merlin's mother's been working. She's been getting some extra money. I said, Merlin, your mother's got that $100 bill. Go ahead and exchange it. While the dollar's high. No, she's going to spend it. And she goes on and on about her money. And then I finally said, look, Merlin, your mother is 70 years old. What is she saving her money for? What's she going to buy? A house? A car? Your mother's got money now, more money she's ever made in her life. Let her enjoy it. They don't think like that. She's telling her 70-year-old mother. She's trying to put brakes on a 70-year-old mother. Like, let that woman live. If she wants to take that money and burn it up, let her do it. This is cultural difference, but it's everything. Just know that when you start getting involved in relationships. But that's one of the reasons to go to different places. You want to see the differences. You want to know that it's not the same way in America, around the world. That's a good thing. But when you talk about putting your roots down and getting married and getting involved in serious relationships over here, man, culture is everything. And we just gloss over it like it's nothing. Man, I tell you, I'm coming to Alona, man, before it's all over with. One of my favorite places, Michael Beecher Life. I mean that. What's up? Did you get that book, We're 8 Years in Power? Are you the one who told me to get it? No, you need to get this book. If you no, you finished it already. Which I don't get to read as much as you. Oh, wow. Time flies, man. He said, so what number of why foreigners aren't coming here? Now, we're just talking about traveling first. We're going to get to the Philippines. He says, I got the house 90% found. Oh, okay, it's almost finished. This is a guy who built his own house. He didn't have, because he knows how to do all that stuff. And, when you decide to build a house by yourself, it's going to take longer. Look how long he's been working on that house. I know he's been sick and everything. Because, you got to, he's using a Filipino mortgage, basically. He said, the family's all moved in. Second son just had his first birthday. I was good. I remember your son was born, man. He came to the meet and greet. Ron did, him and his little son. The one I had here at Carmel's Inn. Carmel's Inn. Thanks, Confident Voice speaks for the super chat. He says, if there's anyone in the Central Florida area that wants to have lunch or meet up, let me know. You can pick my brain about the Philippines. Contact me on the Sunshine Shoulders Discord. Yeah, we got the Discord, y'all. It's growing too. But thanks, Confident Voice Speak. This guy, man, is one of those guys that you want to meet. He's really positive, man. He's always got a smile on his face. What'd you do? Almost 22 years in the military, retired now. He's working for a contractor, building a house over here. Young guy in his early 40s. Hey, Ara Backler Gunlugu, thank you for that super chat. He said, coffee on me today, Brother Cal. Hey, thank you, man. I broke my fast at 10 o'clock. But I really didn't break it the way I wanted to because Merlin's not here. I normally break it with eggs, some fat, some meat. Today I had 2 grilled cheese, but I put them in the toaster. But that's okay. I'm keeping going, man. I feel so much better, man. You are what you eat, guys. We eat all the time. We eat too much. Your body's always working to digest this stuff. You don't even give it a chance to digest what you ate yesterday. You piling on more stuff. We do it out of habit, man. He said, nope, just been away for a while, been on a boat. No connection. No SAT connection. He said, we got 5-0 walk-in around everywhere here in Pang Lao. Oh, you mean, okay. The police, yeah, with the Asian summit going on. Got military choppers flying morning and night. Yeah, I forgot that is there. The Sunulu was just finished Sunday. Did you go, Michael Beach Your Life? I know you've been there before. He said, Unc, as your blood is back to as normal as it's going to get for me. Absolutely, I've been doing more cardio and everything. I got more energy now. I mean, for a 62-year-old man to wake up with the wood in the middle of the night, in the morning, women over here probably be wondering like, well, what's a 62-year-old man, still be wanting to, knock the bottom out, because 62 over here, they look at a 62-year-old over here as old. Hey, what's up, our Backler Gunlugu? Welcome to the 4th quarter, man, and thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. I'm going to have a members only live stream in the morning. We're going to talk about these Kens and how they can mess up your vacation and retirement if you're not careful. It's like the nerve of you guys. Who do you think you are? Hey, Brock, he said, I've been doing the 16 and 8 and I can see the improvement. Every time I eat something new, I can tell how my body reacts to it. Yeah, believe it or not, man, this is just my 10th day. I'm just not hungry anymore like I used to. I don't have a desire to eat, and I feel guilty if I want to eat something. It's like I want to be hungry because I know that's when, the work is happening. The miracle is happening. I didn't have no idea before. I'm just eating just to be eating. One of the great things about living in a tropical place like this, you can get out and walk and be active anytime you want. It's just so beautiful over here, man. When you get up in the morning, you go walking, there's nobody but you and nature. And this when it's sort of like meditating to me. He says, it's taking forever for me to finish my house too. I'm frustrated, but I won't give up working on it. I just went on and spent the money up front, man. And used the Filipino mortgage, pay as you go. I'm so happy, man. It's almost 5 years now. We've gotten our money back, man. No matter what happens, I got my money back out of this. And I saw a guy did a video on that, and I had to agree with him. You know, he's like, people always telling you, oh, don't build a house over there in the Philippines. Well, you know, it's annoying, man, sometimes. Don't let people control your life, man. You make that decision. You only live once. You know, get all the information that you can, but the final decision is yours. I would say just don't spend, you don't have to spend all that money, guys, to build a house. This is the mistake we're making. But it's your money. You can do whatever you want to do, but you got to understand the woman you're trying to impress is coming from nothing, guys. It's not being mean. It's not putting her down. It's just her reality. So you could build a one bed, you could build a 30 square meter house and it would knock her socks off. And if it didn't, you're probably with the wrong woman. But we're building these big monstrosities. This is our Western thinking. We're still competing with the Joneses, man. Marilyn wanted one room with a CR. That's what she wanted. When she saw this, to this day, she's still pinching herself. She'll never pay me back for this. She's going to try for the rest of her life to pay me back. If she doesn't get anything else out of the relationship, this is it, man. Y'all don't understand. You don't have to spend all that money y'all spending. He said, my stomach sounds really angry when it's empty. That's why I overfeed it. Yeah, but in about 20 minutes, it comes in waves like that. But I'm not starving anymore. You start drinking that water, and the key is really to stay busy. Because I get up at 6 a.m. or before. I get up between 5 and 6 a.m. every morning. I can't break my fast to 10. Well, it's no big deal. I go in there. Just like today, I had to go to the bank. So I get up, drink my water, brush my teeth, go in there, take a shower, come out, arm my clothes. Hell, it's 8 o'clock. So now I'm just sitting around, pitting around till 9 o'clock. Go to the bank, come back. It's 10 o'clock. Time to break my fast. He says, I met an American and Filipino married couple in the park today on my walk. She's from Davao and was saying that Luzoners, people from Luzon, don't know shit about Mindanao or the Central Visayas. On my first trip to the Philippines, the woman told me don't ever go to Mindanao. She said they're going to salvage me. You have to understand, a lot of women that we meet, they don't travel. They don't have the time. They don't have the money. It's just the stuff right here that they're saying. They have family responsibilities. They're just going by what they heard. But hell, that's where Davao is, Mindanao. That's where Cagayan de Oro, General Santos, Surigao, and Surigao. Dipolog, even Zamboanga, but you don't want that Zamboanga is a whole different cookie though, man. You got, if you meet a girl from Zamboanga, have her meet you in Cebu first on your first trip. Don't go there. Get a little educated on that, and then go back, meet the family or whatever, stay a weekend and get out of there. And then as you feel more comfortable, increase your stay. As people start seeing you and knowing that you're not the CIA, and then and all that stuff, guys. It sounds crazy, but I'm telling you the truth. They want to know you're okay because it's all you got CIA, you got all kind of military, you got a whole lot going on down in Zamboanga in that region. And once they see you okay, you're not going to have a problem. There's no doubt in my mind that I would see the Abu Sayyaf, but you don't know who they are. He said, what's more important than fasting is getting plenty of fiber. It is. It's cleaning yourself out, but fasting is really good, man. It does something for me that nothing else was ever able to do. It was like the light came on, like somebody flipped a switch. Because we eat too much. That 3 meals a day is bullshit, man. That 3 meals a day is bullshit that they sold us on when we were little. But the next one is health issues. It says medical conditions are concerns. You know, some people haven't been to the doctor in a long time. They're thinking, can I even handle that 20-hour flight? Can prevent people from feeling comfortable or safe traveling. You know, this is 2026. This is what we're talking about, being better, being stronger, becoming unstoppable, man. That human magnet I always talk about. You're attracting everything into your life that you desire. You may have to go to the doctor. You may have to get your blood work done. You may have to start eating better. Remember, health is everything. That's what the lady said. Let me see if I can find that. It's so powerful. She said it's the foundation for everything. And it is. Okay? I'm not going to look for it. I can't find it. Booby's been writing in my books anyway. I got to watch out what I'm texting and everything because Booby's reading everything. Yeah, good gut health. That's what fasting is, man. He says, I missed Sunuluk this year. 3 years straight, I think I can miss this one. When I went to the one in 2010, it was different, you know, because they moved it around and it's in a different location, but it used to be right there in the city proper, man. And you're talking about 10 million people, man. Maybe not that many, you know, but it seems like 10 million. When you're in that little small area, it's really like 2 or 3 million. I mean, so many people, you're so pressed together with people, there's no way to escape it then. And wherever they go, you go. I got split off from my girlfriend at the time. Never saw her to the end of the night. I got swept all the way to the pier. I just got on the boat and went back to Lapu Lapu. Went back to the apartment waiting for her. It was so many people. But it was different, man. He says, perception is your reality. And recent events make things look bad on the surface. They need to learn about marketing, and we need to have expat group representing our interests. Yeah, see, it's kind of crazy, though, because this guy, this Russian vlogger that's out here talking about the AIDS scare, I never saw his channel, but see, everybody's a vlogger now. It's almost like over in America, where every time they lock up a young black man, he's a rapper. And I'm like, well, I never heard of him. Who is this guy? Everybody's a rapper. Remember I told you vloggers are the new rappers, guys, in more ways than one. Everybody's a damn vlogger now. If you get caught up over here, they're going to label you a vlogger, whether you are not. If you just get on in front of the camera, they're going to say you're a vlogger. I never heard of him. He wasn't vlogging. I don't know what he was doing. He was just on there saying, let's go AIDS. Let's go AIDS. That's all he was saying. Talking about he's going to spread AIDS as much as he can. But everybody's a vlogger, man. They're going to throw us all in that same basket. No. Because you got to understand, man, we don't get as much bad weather. And I want to get it done right. I want the right one. I want to be able to have it built and put over here close to this guest house. But I haven't gotten it yet. He said, absolutely, Cal. I went sugar-free this month, fasted, and I already feel better. You're going to feel 1,000 times better. You are what you eat. He said, it helps me appreciate the meal. Man, food, that's what I said the last live stream, food just tastes so much better. And I really appreciate, I look forward to eating now. He said, I do eat and understand what I need and the different types of varieties such as meat, vegetables, and a carb. But that's really what it's all about. Eating is like an event now. I look forward to, I can't wait to eat. But when you're eating all the time, just to be eating, that's why it's best to get outside. If you live in the Philippines, you should be losing weight. If I stay in here, man, I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat bread. I'm going to be in there drinking Cokes and all kinds of stuff. But when I'm outside, moving around, I'm not even thinking about food. He said, fasting clears your mind and body. It's a natural detox, especially if you're O blood type. For thousands upon thousands of years, humans were lucky to eat once a day. Capitalism changed. Thank you, man. This is what it is. This is how the doctor breaks it down. People was lucky. That's why it was either feast or famine. They didn't have refrigerators and all that stuff, guys. So if they had a lot of meat, they ate that shit in 2 or 3 days. Okay, wasn't no preserving it, putting it in the freezer, and there wasn't no leftovers. But we were just talking about capitalism the other day. Ron, you should have been on here because they were pushing back against that. Remember, it's two sides to that. You know, they were just looking at the bad part of it, man. Capitalism, as someone who grew up at the height of it, I can't knock it. You know, I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong, that everything about it is right, but I can't knock it because it's done everything for me. He says, I met somebody from Louisville, and they explained to me how to pronounce it correctly. Yeah, there's so many ways. They got a T-shirt. Some people say Louisville. Some people say Louisville like I do. Some people say Louisville. It's crazy. He said, yeah, my girlfriend told me the Filipinos eat 3 times a day. What the fuck? Now she's on a diet, eating once a day. Yeah, and they eat a lot of rice, man. You know, that's why diabetes is on the rise here. Obesity is on the rise. You can't eat all that rice. And I tell them around here, look, stop feeding Booby all that rice. Because Booby's half American. You're going to kill my daughter. She'll look like a damn balloon by the time y'all get finished with it. But remember, it's culture, guys. Culture's everything. They look at rice. Her grandmother looks at rice like my mother looked at vegetables, fruits and vegetables. Eat your vegetables. They're healthy for you. It's a given. You have to eat rice here. But that is just culture. That doesn't mean they're less than or anything. They're inferior. It's just culture. We need to try to understand that culture more, man. It's more than what we think it is. It's everything. But we gloss over it like, oh, it's not going to make a difference. It makes all the difference in the world. That's why you're frustrated over here. Whatever frustrations you having over here in the Philippines is because you're in a new culture. You're in a different culture. And you're experiencing that. The way they go about stuff. It's just them going about their life. We'll say, oh, you got to have more patience when you get over there. When Filipinos, they're just going about business as usual. We'll say it's too slow. He says, I'm determined not to break my fast at this resort. I feel great. You don't have to do it, even if you're in a resort, even better. Yeah, get out there on the beach, walk up and down that beach, man. It'll be 10 o'clock before you know it. He says, I found that many low-calorie meals, snacks throughout the day work better for me. Fasting can make your body retain weight because it thinks you're starving. You have to do it right. Yeah, you definitely have to do it right. It's worked for me, though. And you really have to be consistent with it. You know, just like somebody put in the comments, they say, yeah, it's just like alcohol. It's easy to stop, but hard to stay stopped. But if you determined and you do it like you do alcohol, one day at a time, you can do it, man. I'm telling you, I feel the results. It was almost immediate, man. Like that fourth day, something happened to me, man. It just made all the difference, man. I'm up and, I was all in a funk, man. He said, Brother Cal, I've been intermittent fasting for the last 6 days, eating once a day, sometimes twice a small meal. So I just don't eat as much anymore. My body is getting to the point of getting used to that. Even, what's going to help me even more is I stop at 6. And see, I go to bed early. For some people, stopping at 6 would be crazy because you're still up watching TV at 10 and 11. Or you go out. You're drinking alcohol and different things like that. But me, I go to bed about 8 o'clock. I'm in the bed. I'm asleep by 9. So it doesn't really affect me. But that helps too. I sleep better. My body's not trying to break down that stuff that I ate at 8 or 9 o'clock. He said capitalism is the best option. The problem with other systems is that there's always a corrupt overseer. Yeah, and it's, corruption is just everywhere, man. We disguise it. And, one of the ways that they were trying to combat this capitalism overload was no monopolies. But see, they've gotten back to that again. They just sneak and do it, when they acquire all these different companies that are in the same business. Look at what Facebook did. Bought Instagram, bought Snapchat, bought Messenger, bought WhatsApp. Well, I don't know if Messenger was part of theirs anyway, but WhatsApp. Just bought up all the competition. No one company should have control over that much media. That much influence on your thinking, man. But that's just the way it is. He said comfort eating happens when you stay inside too much and don't go out to walk, jog, run, or just be actively moving. Exactly, man. I'm eating less because I'm outside all the time. Yeah, rice is a religion there. He said rice? Yeah, rice is a carbohydrate that breaks down to sugar in your body, Frank. It's right. It's way up there. Read about it. Obesity is high, man. It's like 33% of Filipinos are obese now. For the same reasons that you see a lot of people in the West obese. They'll buy the 99-cent McDonald's meal. What are you going to buy, the orange, Frank, for lunch or the 99-cent McDonald's meal? It's your last dollar you got. You're going to buy that 99-cent McDonald's meal. Yeah, they're just trying to, it's a religion over here. It's just culture. And I got to stop myself a lot of times. Excuse me. When me and Merlin are having discussions, I'm like, okay, this is culture. I need to back off of here. And since me keep running up against a brick wall, you're not going to change it, man. You're not going to change it. And money is certainly one of those cultural things that you're going to have a problem with. Okay, she can overdose on money over here. This is what we're doing to a lot of these women. Okay, we're giving them too much money, man. They're not used to that. Hey, what's up, Icy? Welcome to the chat. Hey, good night, Tony. I know a lot of people gotta hit the hamster wheel, man. But let's go to the next one. Lack of interest, and I got that too. You know, so many places to go, but this is lack of interest in traveling. Period. It says some people simply don't have a desire to explore new places and prefer staying home. I'm not one of them, but that's what I got because y'all remember this stuff. Because it's going to trip you out. It's basically the same reasons that people don't come to the Philippines or anywhere else. But people think, oh, it's an infrastructure in the Philippines, this and that. No. Okay, according to the Department of Tourism in America, between 3 and 6% of Americans travel overseas. Okay, so that's why I said 5%. About 3% of Americans, I don't know about this, that's a lot of people, come to Southeast Asia. And less than 1% travel to the Philippines. He said, I grew up eating 1 meal a day. And when I started to eat 2 or 3 meals per day in my 30s, I gained weight like Big Shirley. I went back to 1 meal and lost 20 pounds in less than a month. Yeah, we certainly overeat. It is a evolutionary thing. But yeah, you can fight it if you want to. Everything's at your fingertips now, certainly in America, man. You can eat a Snickers sandwich if you want to. They done combined ice cream with Snickers. There's so many diabolical combinations that's killing your ass. I was watching Dion Cole the other day. He's funny, and he was telling a joke about fat people. He's like, man, try to lose weight and try to be thin at least one time before you die. He said, just stop eating. He said, you already know what that tastes like. It's funny, you got to hear him saying it. But it's true is what he's saying. You already know what that tastes like, man. What's the point? That food, boy, is addicting, man. It's addicting. It's just like the sugar, okay? Remember how all of you people, you talk about drug addicts, you talk about alcoholics. Let them outlaw sugar. These women will be out here selling their bodies for a pack of sugar. Let them outlaw cigarettes. Same thing. They'll be on their knees, men and women sucking D for a damn cigarette. Just a hit of a damn cigarette. He said, I was in 7-Eleven, not a single thing in there was good for you. So it shows you it's easy and cheaper to eat poorly. It is, and it's crazy that these governments, it's like they're in cahoots with each other. It's sort of a way to, you know, they're trying to decrease the population, depopulate the earth anyway. The elites say it's too many people on here, and since they make all the decisions, and they manufacture everything, and they control everything, they're saying, okay, we got to get rid of these people. Let's do it. And so they promote a lot of this foolishness. Yeah. They'll be coming over here and you'll be selling packs of sugar just like they sell packs of cocaine or weed. She says, just proper nutrition. Remember, your body back then, isn't like now. Better check necessary nutrients and changes before going back to the same routine. It's just intentionally taking better care of yourself, and we don't do it. Remember, we don't read. We're not taking any training of any type. We're not doing anything to improve our life, but we magically want to get better and stronger and everything. It's the same with eating, and you got to be consistent with it. He said George Foreman was being the key word, still hitting the heavy bag, looked in good shape, did a video getting a vax, and then was dead soon afterwards. Well, we're not going to get into that argument, guys, okay? I've been taking vaccines my whole life. What about the people? We always point out the people, the small amount of people who died, who took the vax, and then, y'all try to connect that to their death. Then the people who took the vax and still out here living their best lives. You can always twist that. Okay? But we're not going to get into that, guys. I've been taking vaccines my whole life. We didn't have a choice. Okay, we didn't have a choice. If you wanted to go to school, you took that vaccine. Now all of a sudden everybody's got smart. And probably the vaccines back then were a whole lot better, I could say that. Not being a scientist or anything. But yeah, lack of interest, guys. Okay, here's the one that Ala Lachan was talking about. Travel logistics. It says navigating trip planning, such as booking flights, accommodations, and itineraries, can be overwhelming. And just the length of the trip sometimes. If you're trying to go to Mexico, it's not that much travel logistics you got to deal with. What are you going? If you're coming from Louisville, let's say I went to North Carolina and I flew from North Carolina to Mexico. And coming back, we flew from Cancun to Atlanta, then to Louisville. That's not a whole lot. He said, where's the best place to eat? To exchange money in Dumaguete? I would go to the mall, Robinson Mall, on the second floor. Go up the escalator. When you come in, no matter which entrance you come in, there's two entrances. You're going to see that escalator right there in the middle where you come in. Just go up the escalator, walk straight, it's to your right. It's actually two of them right next to each other. One of them is like USSC, whatever that stands for, and then one is the actual money exchanger, because the USSC, they sell ferry tickets and all that other stuff too. You can get Western Union and all that stuff. But right next to it is an actual money exchanger. But I would go to Robinson Mall. Inside that mall, yeah, he was up there. I think he was 70 something too. They can tell you how long you're going to live because they've got the actuaries. They've got it down to a science what you're eating with. Like you said, when you combine the capitalism, technology, and all that other stuff, they already know you're not going to live to be, if you're 75, man, they hit it more times than not, guys. If they say that a black man, it's a difference, man, because of the stress. We're born with hypertension. People's like, well, race ain't got nothing to do with it. Race has everything to do with it. Okay, y'all sound like fools when you say that. Run for the president of the United States and tell me race ain't got nothing to do with it. But anyway, if they tell you, hey, black men live on average to be 73 or whatever it is. Damn it, if you live to be 73, you better knock on wood. And how many people that you see didn't make it to 73 and wasn't shot down by the police or a thug over there? They just dropped dead. Okay, but what are you saying? Maybe that's part of, depopulation. I don't know. But we're not going to get on here because you're not a scientist. You're only going by what somebody else is telling you. This is not a discussion we want to get into, man. But yet you'll say that, but then you'll go out and put sugar in every damn thing you eat, Mr. Milton. This is the hypocrisy. Are you out there smoking weed or drinking alcohol or whatever it is? Eating booty. But all of a sudden, the vaccine is the worst thing. It's the same thing when people be talking about pork. There's worse things I can do than eat pork, man. But I don't eat pork. God said don't eat pork, but he gives you sugar and all the other stuff there that's going to kill your ass dead. Probably going to kill you more than pork. But he didn't warn you about eating sugar. This is the crazy thing. That people are. No, not black men. If we lived to 78, hell, you'd be like a damn mummy. He said, I think 78 is average. Yeah, probably for white men and women, but not for black men. I've got the same life expectancy in America as I do over here. So I'm saying to myself, I want my extra years. So I'm over here. I said that a long time ago. When you look it up, you'll be like, well, hell, with all the technology and everything we got in America, I'm not living any longer than a Filipino man over here, the average Filipino man over here who's working hard, tote that barge, lift that bell, Roger said. I'm like, well, hell, I might as well be over here. And then, because that way I know I'm going to live a little longer then. No, polio ain't coming back to the United States. This is one of the reasons why she says I wouldn't be surprised in the USA. She said, not praying for it, to be clear, that polio or the ailments that once was a history might come back because more and more are vaccinated. Now, see, those are the vaccines we took a long time ago, I see, that were good vaccines against polio. That's when you come to a place like the Philippines where you hear about cases of polio. We've eradicated that back in the 50s or 40s or whatever it was. I mean, eradicated it. You don't hear about anybody in America getting polio. There's people over here who have polio, being infected with polio. But yeah, I don't get into those vaccine arguments and stuff like that. It's going down a rabbit hole. Well, it's all bad. All sugar is bad for you, really. Just like people's like, well, I only drink moderately. Well, your body's not meant to consume alcohol in any levels. Okay, period. It's just not. He said African American men live on average 69 to 71. Yeah. So if it's the same over here in the Philippines, why don't I come over here with my less stress, and everything? I'm living a better standard of living here than I am at home, and get me a few extra years in there of tune-ups and lube jobs and oil changes and sunsets and all of that, and beautiful white sand beaches and all that. Does that make sense to anybody but me? He said, I noticed you have a new introduction on your video with your music. What is the name of that island with the beach? Well, a friend of mine, this guy's a master with the drone, and that's his business. His name is Cal Ellis. He's a gentleman from, I can call him a young man, he's younger than me, from Virginia Beach, man. And I met him before, and his girlfriend is very, very close with Maryland. They met at, I guess, one of the meet and greets, and they've been inseparable ever since. So he just said, hey, man, I can, because that's his work. That's what he does. He said, I can really make you some good introductions and an outro for your music. And you see, he put my stamp on in there on both of them. But his name is Cal Ellis, man. He's a great guy. He we all went to when I met him. We all went to the Tops with y'all seen John Smulo. I think he's called the California Expat now. It was him and his then wife, Cal and Sharon, me and Marilyn. It might have been one or two more couples. We went up there, and then they went somewhere else. He says, I was advised to get the Japanese encephalitis and hepatitis A and B vaccine prior to coming. Well, if your doctor said that, I follow your doctor's advice, but I never received it. I've never taken one vaccine to come here. That's how dumb I was. I didn't even check to see if it was mandatory, which it's not. They will suggest you take certain vaccines because I'm pretty sure we've taken one against tuberculosis too, because the rates are so very, very low in America versus the Philippines. See, that's a sneaky one that you guys don't understand. That a lot of women are exposed to is tuberculosis over here. But it doesn't matter to y'all. You're going to jump out the plane and stick your banana in a tailpipe. No inspection, no nothing. How crazy is that? You come into a country which the AIDS is an epidemic. HIV and AIDS is an epidemic, guys. And we're still doing it, man. It's like it's always the other guy. And you got fools like that Russian vlogger who are going around, he may be playing, he may be serious, but there's some people coming over here who haven't, don't know it. They haven't been to the doctor in years. They haven't been tested for it. The HIV is laying dormant in their system. There's a difference between HIV and AIDS. It's laying dormant, and for some people it will. He said, when is your next meet and greet? It's probably going to be sometime in March. But most of us, certainly my age, baby boomers, most of us, man, we're vaccinated against just about every damn thing. When we were growing up, man, you didn't have a choice. They stuck you, man. You didn't have no choice. Then you go in the Army and the Navy and the military, the same thing. But now, look, that's why we're still alive. Everybody in this house got chicken pox, but me and the mother, because the mother had it before. And I'm scared to death because I've never had it. But then the guy reminded me, he said, Cal, you took that chicken pox vaccination as a child. That's will last you a lifetime. And I'm like, woo, no wonder I didn't get it. See, that's why you're never going to see me knocking vaccines. So when they said, hey, over here anyway, I'm in the Philippines doing COVID. You could not go outside, man, unless you took that vaccine. And after being inside for 6 months, shit, you could have gave me any damn thing. And I would have took it to get outside that house. The Turdy said you cannot step foot out of that house. You can't travel. You can't do anything. You don't take that vaccine. And then not only that, over here it was like worse, man. If you got it, they shipped you out to some old government, what do they call those places where you can quarantine centers, man. It's worse than prison, worse than jail. And they slid you your food, 2 or 3 times a day, whatever they were giving you. It wasn't nothing good. He said, Cal, no, Cal, I've been listening to you and taking your advice. prior to coming here. And everybody does, honestly, the humanitarian. But when she's waiting for you at that airport, man, you forget everything Sunshine Shoulder says, Old Dog New Tricks, Smart Philippines, every Smart Girl Philippines, all of them say. Okay? Hey, thank you, W Secret to Success, for that super chat. He said, support. He said, channel support, Cal. You better buy that van before the peso drops. Man, I was looking at it today. There's a woman who I used to rent from who sells those vans. But I think I'm going to go the way Paul went. I'm going to have one built. Well, I'm certainly going to do it. But yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, when she's standing there with that little bag with all her possessions in at the airport, and you come off there and she runs up and hugs you, no matter how big you are, she could be like this or she could be like this. Hair smelling like cream silk. She got that pound on her face. Skinny jeans or short shorts. That little 20 peso okai top. You're done. You're not going to remember nothing I say. And then she's going to say, you can do whatever you want to me. She's 22 years old. That's the end of the story. A lot of guys who've been following me for years, they come over here and I don't hear anything else from them again. We've been chatting back and forth, WhatsApp, Messenger, email, and all that. The minute they come over here, I don't see them again, don't hear from them again. They basically been kidnapped. Yeah, I will. I will, Big Brock's Adventure. But all of my grandkids got this flu that's going around down there. My daughter sent me a picture. I'm talking about every last one of them. I don't know if the real little ones have it, but all the other ones have it. They're all in the same hospital room together. Yeah. Into the tailpipe he goes. There's no fighting that, guys. There's nothing I can do against that. It's hard. It's one of the strangest things I've ever seen in my life. But you can listen all you want. He said, I'll let you know what happens after I get there. That's what I'm saying. I'm never going to hear from you again. If the right woman or the wrong woman meets you there, you can forget it, dude. It happened to me, man. I'm telling you, it happens to everybody. If you're fortunate, that little 22-year-old was waiting for me there, ponytails going back like this. I was so scared. I was afraid to come out of the airport terminal. I've been chatting with her for about 2 or 3 weeks, because I don't chat with them long. Either I'm going to meet you or I'm not. I'm not going to be dreaming and all that stuff. And I come over here, and there she is, man, looking like $1 million. Okay? And that was the end of that story. Nobody heard from me for 6 months. But when you talk to guys like that, instead of them saying, oh man, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and, take my losses. Oh, it ain't going to happen to me, man. I got it all wrote down. I got it right here, Sunshine Shows. Everything you said. You throw that damn thing in. The minute you see her, you throw it in the trash can. He said, I'm glad that didn't happen to me. I messed with our man in Kuwait, but, it's different, but it happened to me. And that's why I try to share it, because over 6 months, I'll probably say a half a meal. I ain't gonna lie. Because my nose was wide open. This is the young lady. I'm telling you, I fed a whole barangay. No shit, man. 20,000 pesos was a lot of money back in 2009. And it was over 100 people. I bought 2 lechons, all the fixings, a big tub of ice cream, Then I didn't even order the ice cream. The man just showed up with the damn ice cream. I was like, well, hell, I'm so happy. I'm like, yeah, tell him, come on, bring it in. You know. And I got up, you know, because it was an engagement party. Man, she had on the ring. You know, I had to pay $23,000 for the ring, which would probably be like $100,000 today. And, you know, in the engagement, she gets up and says her thing. You get up and say, yo, it was a whole 9 yards. Going through all the little, we couldn't sleep together that night and all that other crazy stuff. I did all that, man, for y'all. I know what's over here. And when you tell people that, oh, he's exploited. No, I was exploited. He said, I'm scared and excited. There's nothing like the first time, man. He said, there's a joy being in the Philippines, even without all that. It is, man, you know, but for most guys, the focus is the woman. You know, you come into a whole different culture where in your culture, a 22-year-old woman, dime piece, this girl was a dime piece. I probably had 1 or 2 dimes over here in my Philippine history. She was certainly one. And you're thinking, I haven't had anything that resembles this since I was 22 myself. And I'm sitting there, I'm 45 years old. You know, it doesn't even, you know, but I'm looking younger than 45, so we didn't get a second look. Nobody ever like, look how young she is. Never got that. We went everywhere together. He said, Unc, you're not lying. He said, I threw all the information out the window and I was on another mission. I know you came here with the mission. Y'all stayed in the guest house. You know, it's one thing about Filipinos, though, and Filipino people, they don't meet any strangers. He bought his woman. I don't even know if you're still dealing with her. They stayed at the guest house. They come all the way from Manila. Stayed in the guest house. And hell, you would think her and Merlin grew up together. And the mother. They talking like they known each other forever. He said, yeah, cow crawled so y'all can walk. But now I want you to get that experience, man. You know, but he's right. You know, it is a whole lot more to the Philippines. Much more, but it's just what most guys come for, and they get it. You know, even you, what's his name? Arrington Strickland. You know you didn't come over here without all of that. You got that. Okay, that's all I'm saying. You got that. But we can't talk about it. See? We can't talk about it, though, but the Filipinos can talk about it. We can. If we talk about, oh, yeah, you're exploiting women. Now, I'm telling you my story. Hey, thanks for that super chat, Mr. Milton. He said, I've been retired 8 years. I stay in the States to take care of my parents. By watching many people showing other parts of the world, main takeaway is people are people and will do the same wherever they live. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. A lot of times that's true, but culture is everything, man. But you are right. If you're a fool in America, you're going to be a fool over here. You know, honestly, but it's the adventure. It's they said one of the reasons, see, you're one of the guys who's got the family responsibilities. But one of the things is fear of the unknown. It's that unknown that draws people to places like the Philippines. They want something different, Mr. Milton. They've been, dealing with the same thing over and over and over for years. They want something different. And when they get over here, they get it. For a lot of people, it does change their life wherever they go. And they say, yeah, there's another way to live. I got extra money now. I can really, got some peace over here. Nobody's bothering me. The police aren't chasing me. every 5 minutes, a Karen's not picking up the phone, calling 911. Women are actually attracted to me for whatever reason. Hey, Blizzard Broad, thanks for that super chat. He said, salute, Brother Cal and the Sunshine Shoulders family. Been listening this whole time, finishing up a job, about to take this drive back. This live stream is helping me out right now. Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. He said, don't work too hard, bro. Yeah, but a lot of what draws people to places like this, it drew me here. See, when I tell people the first time I came here it wasn't for women, they don't believe me. The women were like a safety net, because the guy in the chat said, hey, man, I'd already made a decision. I'm coming. Matter of fact, I already had my tickets and everything. I dealt with a bullshit travel agency that busted my head, but I was already coming. He said, look, you may want to meet a woman on one of these dating sites. He gave me cebuhonest.com. He said, because you're going all the way over there, and have like a tour guide, right? Well, see, okay, he says, when are you going to make some advanced game videos for us who've already been to the Philippines? This is kindergarten. Well, you're going to have to go somewhere else for that, Q, because my channel's for the new man and woman who's never been here before. It's always been that way. I was just talking about you and others just on my last live stream. I get the pushback from you guys who have been here. You should be adding to the live stream instead of asking questions like this. Just add your experience here. But that's the whole point of my channel. It's for people like the humanitarian who hasn't come here yet. He's excited. I got him excited about coming. You a hard ankle now. You married. You done have the children. You bored now. You think you bored. I'll say to this. Here's some advanced game for you, Q. Take a trip some damn where out of that damn province. Quit being so damn cheap. Take your woman and your new baby to Boracay or Puerto Galera or Palawan, somewhere up there, Masasa Beach, one of these places. Okay, that's some advanced game I'm giving you. No, it's true. It is true, but it's all about my experiences over here, Arrington. What I'm seeing, living, and experiencing. That's really all my channel's about, but it's really the elementary stuff because a lot of this stuff goes over people's heads anyway, guys. They're not really, it's more entertainment than anything, okay? Because you don't really listen, and you certainly don't internalize it and memorize it, because when you see the woman over here, you're toast. Yeah, Sky Ranch. Come on, man. Let her get up off some of that money, man. And I appreciate your support, man. I mean, I really do, guys. We just have a conversation, man. Give us something to do, But the next one is environmental concerns. It says awareness of the carbon footprint associated with travel may dissuade environmentally conscious individuals. Well, it ain't going to dissuade us. We don't give a damn about the environmental footprint for them jets and planes. That's not what's stopping us. Usually it's cost, time, and health. And that's why I asked you on the last live stream, what would you do? Where would you go if time, money, and health was no object? I've always wanted to have a nice RV, a luxury RV, and have somebody drive me and my woman across country. I've already rode a train from LA to Chicago, but I want to do it in a nice RV. A luxury that's got everything. Plush seats, nice bed, I got the big screen TV, nice stereo system, everything, you know. That's always been on my bucket list, and I'm going to do it, even if I just got to rent the RV. The last time I checked, this was before I left the States to move to the Philippines, it was like $1,200 a month. I mean, a week to rent an RV. Yeah, I always do meet and greets. I mean, they're one of the best things about the channel. And a lot of expats, um, I mean, a lot of vloggers are having meet and greets, and I would suggest if you're anywhere near a meet and greet, I don't care if you don't follow the vlogger, it's the people you're going to meet at those gatherings. Because, you know, one thing you're going to miss over here is good conversation. That's what we be having on these live streams. Y'all take it for granted, man. What would you come over here? And all you going to get is, did you eat yet? Are you hungry? Did you leave go? Where you been? Where you going? That's really all you're going to get. You're never going to get deep conversations about politics, sports, or religion, or just, you know, why you're here. They don't really understand. They know nothing about immigration. They know nothing about what you're dealing with, the problems you're dealing with, because it's not them. Now, if you met a OFW like Saran a lot, she can probably understand him a little bit more. But hell, even if you're an OFW as a Filipino, you're going to be around a lot of OFWs. Filipinos aren't like us. They're, like the guy said, they don't meet strangers, they meet family. That's not like it is with us, man. It takes a while for us to get acclimated to each other and all that. Well, the next one is work commitment. It says job responsibilities or lack of support in the workplace can make it difficult to take time off for travel. And see, here's these other guys, you know, his nut lickers. You should do a meet and greet with Ricky Drama. Remember, guys, oil and water don't mix. I've had so many, he knows where my meet and greets are. He would never dare to come to any of my meet and greets because he's nothing but a bully, and we don't like bullies. He'll get his ass kicked. Tell him that. Okay? But he knows where my meet and greets be. Okay? But you guys that be sucking all on his nuts, you grown men. You probably got a wife and kids somewhere. But this is the type of people we attract over here. Remember, there's three experiences over here: the tourist, the expat, and the vlogger. The vlogger, you got to deal with fools like him. Why don't you have a meet and greet with him? Okay? Guys are crazy. Who they think he's some tough guy? There's never been a bully that ain't had his ass whooped. You name me one bully that haven't had his ass whooped. See? But you guys, you never come over here. Y'all the ones I was talking about on my last live stream. The 70% of you who never even budge, you armchair bros, y'all try to edge that stuff on. He can make all the videos he wants about me. He better not step to me. And y'all try to edge that stuff on. Meanwhile, I'll be in jail somewhere, and then you'll be making stories about me or whatever it is. So no, get off my channel with that foolishness. Yeah, all of them. Yeah, even Bluto. They all get their ass kicked. But they made a celebrity out of him, because I told you vloggers are celebrities. We're the new rappers. And he has his whole audience of followers, a bunch of miserable ass men that, you know, cling on his every word like he's really somebody. Jim's Asian Adventures already told the story about him. He's been on disability his whole damn life. He's a loser. Who sits around and makes videos about other grown men? Oh yeah, I can imagine that panic buying. Yeah, say about this. He said, yeah, I grew up being hated on. Now everyone I know back home is jealous. That's the same thing happened to me. It's going to happen to anybody who tells their family and friends, man, I'm moving to Thailand, I'm moving to the Philippines or Vietnam. They're going to be like, what? Are you crazy? They're going to scam you out all your money. You know, what are you doing over there? Why would you leave America? I'm on number 10, but I'm coming back down because this is the 10 reasons, TJ, that people don't travel, period. Now, the next list I'm going to hit y'all with is the top 10 reasons people don't visit the Philippines. And it's the same, basically. People are going to throw in stuff. Okay, take care, man. Don't hurt yourself out there. But number 10 is past negative experiences. It says previous bad travel experiences can create apprehension or reluctance to embark on new journeys. That was the top 10 reasons people don't travel. Period. Okay. Hey, what's going on? But the top 10 reasons, number 1 for the Philippines, why people don't come here. These are experts. This isn't me. Perception of safety. Now, remember Paul K. just said perception is your reality. Perception of safety. Concerns about crime or political instability can deter potential travelers from visiting the Philippines. See, it never crossed my mind. I just got on the plane and came over here. I just never knew. I just never even thought that I wouldn't be safe over here because I'm going by all the stories that people are telling me about the Philippines and all that. But that's number 1. He says, Unc, I may be one of them 2-week warriors because I'm going into corrections. But come hell or high water, I want me a with D by any means necessary. Yeah, I see you're one of her fans. She's got a growing following, which I don't blame her. Hell, if I was a Filipino, if I could have got Maryland, but Maryland's just she's a typical Filipino. She cannot deal with any criticism. And then if I'd have known what all this was about to begin with, which obviously I didn't, I'd have put Maryland on her own channel before y'all even knew we was together. See, now that people know that Maryland is, with me, they're going to come after her too. I wouldn't subject her to that. But if she'd have went on there like all these other women, Filipino P, Smart Girl Philippines with D and all them, Maya and all them, y'all would be slobbering and going broke, sending their damn PayPals into cardiac arrest and all of that too, see? This is the story that goes untold. Those girls, you can't tell by the views how much money they're getting. It's a trick show. Okay? It's a trick show. They spending big bucks over here on these women YouTube channels. Far more than you could ever imagine. I was watching just a little bit about, have you ever seen Double Trouble Philippines? Double Trouble in Southeast Asia, whatever the girl's name is. She was dating this foreigner before. I believe he was from Estonia too, believe it or not. There's a lot of Russians and Estonians over here. But anyway, they split up, but they had bought a piece of land. She claimed that she paid him half for the land. I don't doubt it. It's people who's doubting that. I'm like, nah, I don't doubt that. If you knew the money they're sending over here to them women behind the scenes, I believe she did pay it. Now they're saying, well, why don't you just sell the land and give him half the money? She said, no, because it's a good deal. I'll just give him a certain amount of money every month. And there's going to be some back, because she's an attractive young lady. I don't know why they split up and don't care, but somebody's going to come along, and if she's really willing to pay that man his money, they're going to pay it for her. I know what I'm talking about. Y'all guys go crazy over these women over here. But okay, perception of safety is number one. Number two is the distance and accessibility. Were the Philippines any closer to America than it is, it would be like DR, Mexico, or one of those places, because it's got everything that we love over here. But it says, for those living far away, the long journey and relatively limited direct flight options can be a significant barrier. So we haven't even got the cost yet. Safety, distance, and accessibility. This is why when guys say, hey, Cal, aren't you worried that the Philippines are going to get overrun with Pookies and Ray Rays? Absolutely not. It's too far. Too far. That's the only thing saving the Philippines. Imagine if 1 million Americans come here every year, despite the distance and accessibility. Were it closer, they'd overrun this place. There would be out of stock, sir. You get on them dating sites, the damn dating sites would shut down. You go click on a profile, out of stock, sir. He said, Cal, if you ever need fast money, you and Marilyn just need to break up, and have her start a channel. She can cry and say bad things about you and the cash will roll right in. 100% facts. 100% facts. Because they want to believe that bullshit anyway. And then they're going to try to slide right in there. See, a lot of men, they just don't have any scruples. Okay? I don't want another man's woman. I don't care what you look like. Just like Gio's wife, look how attractive she is. She couldn't pour herself on me. Because I know he already had her. That's just the way my man works. A lot of you guys aren't built like that. You're just waiting your turn in line. I'll be damned. I'm not gonna wait in line. Excuse me. I'm gonna go out and get my own. But that's what you guys do. You wait in line. I'm not waiting in line. Hell with that. Some of y'all have no scruples at all. And I'm pretty sure one of his subscribers is probably already fooling with the woman already. He said just hide out in the guest house. He said, I miss Mexico. I actually tried and spent money to get Jaja to come to Mexico. Visa denied. Philippines sucks about that. Now I would think it wouldn't be too hard. Well, I know that Filipinos can get, they live visa free over here. Michael Beach of Life was talking about the Asian conference going over here now. Asian countries like, Vietnam, they can go there visa free. But I thought that they could go to places like Mexico, but I guess it's too close to America. He said, how long do you think guys should focus on the Filipino culture before seeking a woman in the Philippines? Well, any time would be enough time because we don't focus at all. We put the cart before the horse. Amen, Black. You could actually, two things could be right at the same time. You could be doing that and meeting the woman. But something clicks when we get over here because it's just human nature and you're a man. You see this attractive young woman over here And then you forget about everything else, about the culture and everything, and then you start focusing all on the woman. It's all about the woman now. He said 1 month. You actually can do that before you even start chatting. Just watch the videos that are talking about stuff, like documentaries, rather. I put a great documentary about the Philippines. Go into that, Amen Black. The video I just made about 5 or 6 days ago about I stopped eating. There's a great documentary, but there's many documentaries like that online. Raymond sent me another one that was it's crazy title, but it's a real documentary. It says my daddy was a sex tourist, and they talking about men, sex tourists who come to places like the Philippines and have babies by these bar girls and stuff, and they leave. And they never come back. They never have any association with the kids. But so many documentaries like that, it just gives you a different, you get a different picture of what the dating site is giving you with all its promises of happily ever afters and, love stories and everything like that. And you'll see, okay, things will start making sense to you. But most of all, you're going to see a beautiful country over here. We're on planet Earth. Okay, it's no less beautiful over here than anywhere else in the world. I just don't get it, but we just want to argue. But you're going to see the beauty over here, and you'll be like, man, I want to go there. I want to deal with the weather and all that stuff over here. And you're in a place where, in my humble opinion, you really are welcome, and you're truly welcomed here. You can mess that up. He said, no shit, a lot of American men have no shame in being their friends' exes. Yeah, being with their friends' exes. Sadly, I don't get that. Me either. They wanted them all along. He said, you better find out the culture first. Otherwise, you're going to be hurting financially and maybe physically. Yes, it's so much about the culture out there. The one thing that you're gonna come face to face with is the high levels of poverty over here. I was talking to a humanitarian. This lady traveled all around the world doing her career. She's in her 80s now. A good friend of mine is his mother, a British lady. And we were just talking about some of the places she had been in the poverty. And so I asked her, I said, well, now that you've been here in the Philippines for a couple of weeks, what do you think about the poverty in the Philippines? She said it's the worst in the world. It's just what she said. Somebody that knows. And I was like, well, why did you say that? She said, because there's no war. There's no supply lines being cut off and all that like you would see down in Africa. And the reason for a lot of these other causes of poverty. She said it's just strictly man-made, and then the natural disasters, and she says the worst. And it really shocked me. I didn't realize it was that bad. But he said some of the main reasons I would stay out is congestion, infrastructure, poverty, beggars, aggressive vendors, scammers, two-tier pricing, comfort, products not available. Well, the Philippines is a lot bigger than that now. And remember, we're immune from a lot of this, Mr. Milton. Have you been here before? Are you just going by what you're hearing? Because as a foreigner over here, as somebody who's got a recurring income and all that stuff like that, all that stuff doesn't even faze me. There's always going to be a trade-off. It's always going to be a trade-off. Because everything you're talking about right here, when I went back to America for those 7 weeks, I saw it. When you go into these Arab stores and Palestinian stores and down in my, in the hood, there's grown men out there begging. When you go in, when you come out, they opening doors and closing them just like they do over here. The poverty. Okay, it's all like that. The two-tier pricing. You got good credit over there. Okay, you don't have to go to the buy here, pay here lot, Mr. Milton, and pay 28 or 30% interest. You can go to the bank. That's two-tier, pricing. It's the same over there, man. But you don't focus on that. You live your life. It's the same way you do over here. As somebody, like I said, who's got an income.
You leave this one?
What? Oh, I did? Where? Yeah, because I had that delivery. I got the flash card. I'm not going to say I'm exempt from that, but I just don't, that kind of stuff doesn't really affect me like a lot of people would say. But let's go to number 3 is cost. Okay? Because a lot of the reason why people don't come here is going to surprise you. Do they got infrastructure on here? Let me see. I'm pretty sure they're going to have something that's going to say something about infrastructure. I don't see it right away, but I'm pretty sure they're going to say it. But this stuff right here doesn't stop people from coming over here. Cost. It says, although the Philippines can be affordable once there, initial expenses like flights and arrangements can be high, which it can be. Okay. Here's a guy that lives here. He's been living here for years. He said, Mr. Milton, it's not that bad. You got money coming in and then you're good. You can get everything over here you can get in the West. And if you can't get it, you just go to Lazada or Shopee or Amazon. They all deliver here, man. But as somebody who's got a decent income, and you don't have to worry about that stuff. You've never been here, man. Go to places like, man, Moncton, Newtown. Man, it's crazy now. It's so nice now. When I was there 4 years ago, I didn't see it. I'm with my friend. He bought a condominium there. I think he paid a little bit over 10 million pesos for it. He's got money like that, okay? But anyway, I'm sitting there and she's giving the sales spiel to him about, oh, look, we're going to build a private beach down here. It's going to be this, it's going to be that, it's going to be all inclusive. I'm looking around like, I'm thinking to myself, this is the Philippines. I don't believe it. Shit. 4 years later, it's a whole lot better than what I could ever dream it being. Moncton, Newtown is really nice now. It'll really shock you. Okay? Okay, here's that documentary I was telling y'all about right here. Click on that and watch it. Okay, Amen Black. Watch as much stuff like that as possible. And then just come over here. Thanks, Michael Beecher Life, for that. He says a major limit to free speech in the Philippines is that certain opinions can still lead to criminal charges. Okay, I already said this though. Maybe lawyer up 100. Maybe you weren't on here. Culture is everything. You're in a whole different culture. You can't expect the same things over here as are available in your home country. This is what we don't understand. You think because you got free speech and all that, now you come over here in a whole different culture on the other side of the planet that you're supposed to enjoy those same privileges. And for the most part, it's not as free as America, okay? Because, you can get people will really take you to court and win a libel case over here. But, hate speech is not free speech anyway, but you can't expect it, man. And when you know this, it makes your experience over here a whole lot better. You're not in America, man. We're in a whole different culture, man. I can't stress that enough. And we don't understand that. Americans, we're so narrow-minded. We're entitled. We think we can go anywhere and do anything we want. It's just the way it is. We got kids over here now who are messing it up for a lot of people. These are men who are policing the Philippines, guys. American men. How crazy is that? Because they think they're still in America. They got control issues. They think they run everything. Dude, you're not in America. Sit down somewhere. Let the Philippine authorities handle their business. They don't need you. This is what we run into, man. Does it really exist anywhere anymore? Certainly in America. Where they're counseling people. And every day, okay, if somebody comes out and says something that offends people, then they got to come on TV the next day, have a press conference. Oh, I didn't mean that. Is that free speech? Because it's not hate speech. They're just, it's just their opinion, speaking their mind, and then next thing you know, they're backtracking. He said, I go back to the USA every 6 months, and every visit, there's a stark reminder why I moved to the Philippines. As my attitude dives in days, as now I wouldn't live there, as I got a taste of a different life. And that's one of the main reasons I'm here. I just wanted something different. A lot of people want something different. The stress, man, look, guys, I walked into a chicken place over there, and I had a blue mock neck on. And these young guys, they in red, they fucking with me. I'm like, dude, I'm a senior, man. Get on with all that stuff. I ain't with all that. If you want, mess with the police. They wear blue too. Go mess with the police. Don't mess with me. This is what I face when I go to America. I'm always looking over my shoulder, man. Even when I shouldn't have to. You can go anywhere and there's always some miserable, entitled fool who can't climb the ladder, who wants to make it off your back. He wants to take what you worked hard for. Carjacking, robbery. They're just going in stores, smash and grab and all that crazy stuff, man. I got tired of it. Okay? Hey, what's up, John Augustus? He said, my brother, I'm back from Tokyo. Long time no see, man. I kept missing the stream. Hey, I'm glad you made it this time. He said, don't wish that freedom upon us. Yeah, probably some random Filipinos. Yeah. He said, yeah, why are you talking free speech? It's not your country. This is a culture, man. Whole culture. Be careful when you come to date and marry these women, man. Boy, I've learned so much over the years, man. The cultural thing is something, man. I tell you. It plays a bigger role than what we give it credit for. We act like it just doesn't mean anything. He says, salute, Sunshine Shows, my brother. I stay low key in the province. I'm here in the Philippines. Yeah, Rona. There's 3 experiences, guys. The tourist, the expat, and the vlogger. If you're a vlog over here, man, it's just too many kids over here. It's just too many now. Even new guys now. They coming on here. I mean, they can't keep my name out of their mouth. It's always something Sunshine Shows. And I'm like, dude, I'm over here minding my own business. I don't even know you. And they're coming over here, policing the Philippines, policing YouTube, policing expats. Like, sit down, man, please. Would y'all sit down somewhere? He said, Calvin said eating booty is unhealthy. He said, I beg to differ. Well, they get on here talking about that old stuff about Oh, yeah, pork and this and that, right? Don't eat this and don't eat that, but yet you eating sugar, you eating booty and every damn thing else. You can get your damn greasy ass lips on. Yeah, police wear blue too. It ain't no bigger than what it is. I saw that's what that video is talking about. But that wealth gap exists everywhere with the elites. But why would you worry about that? This is what I don't understand. Why do we could come over here and concern ourselves with this type of stuff? We don't. We're Americans, so we involve ourselves into things that don't even matter for real. Do you think I'm coming over here worrying about the wealth gap? What can I do about it? A free speech and all that other stuff. I better know the law. Okay, I'm going to follow the law, obey the law wherever I am, and I'm not going to violate the rights of my fellow man. That's the two things I live by. Everything else will work itself out. Yeah, they wear blue. Get on away from me with all that stuff, man. And they got they end up they carry guns and stuff, man. I'm not ready to die for no foolishness like that, man. All you got to do is look in the paper, man. It's always somebody getting killed over the stupidest shit. Those 3 guys in Florida did it for me. These guys are down there for some type of conference. 3 friends. Might even been 2 brothers and a cousin or something. They're at the Airbnb. Their car breaks down, the rental car. They're waiting in the yard, I guess, to show the man that, hey, here's where we live. They're waiting for the new rental car so they can go home. They supposed to have left the day before. Okay, but the car breaks down. Some fool comes by and kills all 3 of them. Some crazy guy who had already been locked up several months before for going around randomly shooting in public. How's he out on the street anyway? He kills these 3 innocent people, man. That did it for me, man. That did it for me right there. He said, we can't even do anything about the wealth gap in our own damn country. Yeah. I don't even know why we even worry about that stuff. He said, if you've spoken about the guy who said he has HIV is now in the works of being criminally charged. Briefly, because that's gossip, and I'm not the news. It's already on the news, but I just said he's going to learn that you don't shout fire in a crowded movie theater. AIDS is already an epidemic over here. It's already on the rise over here. You don't want to come over here and do that. Okay, we can learn from his situation, but we're not listening. We can learn to wear rubbers. We can learn to stop jumping in and out of bed with these women so quick. I'm telling you now, man, there's a growing number of women who are having AIDS over here, guys, simply because they're innocent. They don't have any, say so really in the matter. They don't know that their boyfriend's out there hustling, or maybe he's bisexual. Same shit's going on in America. And they're infecting these innocent women over here. And then she ends up meeting you on the dating site. Okay? See, this is what I'm talking about. I was going to make a whole video about this. I still might do it. What I deal with over here, Ronin Travels, is it Ronin Travelers? Or Ronin Travelers? What I deal with over here is the reason I left America. I was running from that, only to run smack dead into it over here. These same Kens over here, guys. They mess it up for everybody, black and white. These are white men over here. You watch their channels, but they're not just fucking it up for black people and non-whites. They're messing it up for white guys too. They come over here trying to police the Philippines, the YouTube, the expat community, man. Like, sit down, guys. I ran away from y'all. And now they over here. It's so bad, guys, that I'm telling you, y'all think I'm joking. I'll either leave or get off YouTube because you're going to end up hurting somebody. It's not that serious. But they won't mind their own business. But that's what's going on over here if you're a vlogger. These damn kids ready to call the police on you for any damn thing. Like, sit down some damn word, fool. He said, at the end of the day, we come here to separate from the chaos of America or other countries. I don't even keep up with even the news for my country at Sunshine Shoulders. I've got a Yahoo email. So when I click in, it automatically, the headlines come up. Otherwise, that's the only reason I even see it. I don't seek it out because it's so much more. You see what a guy in Houston got his wife killed. He gonna try to run off with the dope man's $125,000. Then the man comes and kills his wife. Now he goes to the police with a bullshit story that don't make no sense. Fool, you try to run out with that man's money. People kill you over $100. They'll kill you over $20 in America. You think you're gonna run out with $125,000 of this man's money? Saw the wife going to storage unit and killed the young lady. She ain't had nothing to do with it. Only chose the wrong damn man to be fooling with. Yeah, I don't read it because it's nothing but bad. It's nothing but bad news. There ain't nothing new. There ain't nothing good. There ain't nothing good. Okay, number 4 is health concerns. That's a long ass flight over here. Some people, they're thinking, well, maybe I can't even handle that flight because it's long. It's a long ass flight, guys. But 5 is natural disasters. This is one of the main reasons people don't come to the Philippines. It says the country's susceptibility to typhoons, earthquakes, and volcanic activity can create apprehension. But remember, people are always putting the Philippines down about their tourism numbers, okay? You can only get to the Philippines by air and by sea. So, of course, their numbers are going to be down. Imagine if were the Philippines sharing a border with, say, Vietnam or Cambodia or Thailand. See, a lot of their numbers are inflated because people are making visa runs, guys. They're just riding the bus to the border, going over there, getting a stamp, turning around and coming back. In the Philippines, you can't do that. But yeah, natural disasters. And this is why when people talk about infrastructure, well, hell, the minute that they own the right track to building up the infrastructure, here comes another Category 5 typhoon. The largest, the biggest typhoon in the history since we've been tracking typhoon hit in the Philippines. All other problems that it has, okay? Now here this thing comes. Not only that, but then here comes the water surge. That's what killed most of the people. That Typhoon Yolanda. It wasn't the actual typhoon. People were out. The typhoon was over. They were out there rummaging through their belongings, trying to find family members. And here comes this big water surge. They called it a tsunami. That's what killed everybody. The paper said 6,000 to 7,000. I went there. Not long after it happened, the woman said, Mr. Calvin or Sir Calvin, she said, it's more like 25,000 died. That's what she said. Okay? So if you around Tacloban and all those places, man, just know that that's Typhoon Alley. The Bicol region and all those places. Legazpi up in Luzon. The Eastern Visayas region. Lady. Bilaran. You better know where you are. These natural disasters ain't no joke. Now here's one, and people don't realize it, and you know, I talked about this a lot. It says language barrier. Let that sink in. Because one of the things is, oh, well, Filipinos, they speak English. They can speak English, but they very seldom speak English over here. Unless it's their job, unless they're talking to you. They very seldom speak English. Why would they speak English in their own country? The only reason they spoke it to begin with is because of the law. The United States made it a law. If you wanted to attend school here, you had to, take up English. You had to be taught English. Because most of the time, they don't even speak English in my house. They speak Bisaya. That's culture. Remember, it's everything. Culture's everything. But you can't understand. All they do is flip that switch and you lost. You don't know what they're saying about you. That's why you need to come over here and be humble. Keep your nose down, man. Mind your own business. You ain't gonna have a problem. Because you get her mad when she flips that switch and starts speaking Bisaya, Tagalog, or Ilongo, or whatever it is. And go out on a double date if you think I'm playing. They'll talk about you right in your face. Me and Marilyn and the guy and his girl, they going to start talking Tagalog or Bisaya depending on where they from. Because they're talking about us. They're keeping us out of that conversation. They're in their own country. So they're saying, oh, how's he treating you? Does he mistreat you? Does he cheat on you? And all kind of stuff. How is he in the bedroom? They say everything and you right there. He said a damn tsunami after a typhoon. No, they called it a tsunami. It was actually a water surge. Because if you ever been to Tacloban, it's right at sea level. Man, it's creepy, man, when you in the tricycle. I'm on my tricycle on my way to the Airbnb. And I just so happened, I wasn't paying attention. I just looked over and the damn ocean is right there, man. And that's what happened. It came through, man, and it took babies out of the arms. They interviewed one father. He lost 3 children. He said, I was holding them. We were all right here at the tree, and that water came and drowned all 3 of them. Well, actually, regular guy, I don't have a problem with regular guy. He stayed in my guest house before. The thing about it is, I told you about these Kens. If you think that it's just what they're seeing, it's what you don't see. And we don't see the overwhelming majority of stuff that goes on over here. So why are you even bothered? Why would you even go after somebody like that? Like getting rid of him is really gonna save somebody. They just do it because they can't help themselves. They got to do it to earn brownie points with the locals and their wives. Look at me. See? And they start, it gets so bad when you start hearing these vloggers and they're apologizing for other vloggers and, oh yeah, throw the book at him. And I'm like, dude, y'all need to be careful. We're in the Philippines. They put us all in that basket. Okay? They don't discriminate. The minute you sending them after you, after somebody else, pretty soon they'll be coming after you. No, it wouldn't be gross. I wouldn't, a regular guy's not a Ken. I can tell you who's not a Ken. Gio's not a Ken. Old Dog New Tricks is not a Ken. Mike's Philippine Retirement is not a Ken. That Philippines, he's not a Ken. These are guys who mind their own business. It's probably more the new Joe Gold Wonder. He's not a kin. But there's some channels out here, man. You see them. All you got to do is watch them one time. I'm like, dude, you know, the difference between Filipinos and Americans, one is just the simple differences I've seen, is how they treat each other overseas. Filipinos have a support group overseas. I call them the Filipino Mafia. When you take a Filipino back to your country, you're going to see it in action. I don't know how they treat each other over here, but when they're outside the country, they bond together, dude, okay? More times than not. Americans, no, we're the opposite. We would throw each other under the bus, man. I'm 8,000 miles away. Leave me alone. Why are you sending the people at me? I mean, can't you have any type of common sense? How would you do that? I mean, you act like I robbed a bank and they saw me. That's something different. You guys are crazy. What they be doing? Yeah, it's just accusations, but accusations are powerful over here. See, I'm biased though. I'm going to talk about it every chance I get. The cocksuckers did me like that, man. And the charges are so severe that the authorities have no choice but to investigate you. Okay? I'm just telling you, man. This is why we need to stop that stuff, man. We're going by what somebody heard or what we think and what we interpret as taking advantage of Filipino women, exploiting Filipino women when you're all exploiting Filipino women. We already had that discussion. We ain't going to go there again. But just the audacity, like who do y'all think y'all are? It's just so many of them. Then the guy's got a clip of a regular guy, couple of clips. He's encouraging people, oh, go ahead and somebody send me the link. He's encouraging people. Yeah, y'all go ahead. Y'all can download this. And share it. You know, like, dude, why would you do that? Because he's getting a little bit too frisky with some prostitutes on Walking Street. Everybody deserves respect. Well, tell her to have some self-respect then. Okay, but I never blame the victims, but this is the type of shit that goes on over here, man. Okay, you think you leaving that stuff, like Ronan Traveler says, but you're walking right into it, guys. I'm telling you now. If you want to be a part of this vlogging community, yeah, man, accusations over here carry a lot of weight, and they know it. Well, believe it or not, once I get the proper visa to do stuff like this, I will start doing charitable things. See, my spin wheel is not a charity, it's a game. Okay, and they even tried to turn my spin wheel in. Some old rotten, cowardly kin. They're talking about I'm gambling over here and exploiting Filipino women because 80% of my winners are women. Fool, because 80% of the people who follow my Facebook account are women. But he said, Cal, have you considered collaborating with the mayor of St. Carlos City and creating an annual scholarship for a few students in the city? That would be great for those kids. Well, there's an organization here, a charitable organization of expats. They're called the Gentlemen's Club. They do a lot of stuff like that here. There's a lot of expats, man. I've already did a video about it. We don't get the credit we deserve, the good stuff, because that's not going to get any clicks. But yeah, they got an organization here that works with schools, buys uniforms, tablets, books, backpacks. They do all that stuff. right here in San Carlos City. One of the members is he's a councilman. But see, the thing about it is when you start doing stuff like this, Cisco, this is when the Kens come for you. Oh, he's running a charity over. They don't know what kind of visa you on. They're just guessing, guys. Don't ever tell somebody what kind of visa you on. It's none of your business. Obviously, they know already that I was stupid enough to let people in on that before I knew any better. That's one of the most important pieces of information you got. Don't tell those people what kind of visa you on. Then you meddling, you reaching, you projecting. You don't know what I can do and what I can't do because you don't know what visa I'm on. But the minute you start doing it, oh, now you're a scammer. Oh, he's skimming off the top. These guys are crazy over here. That's why I stopped doing all that stuff, man. I'm not going to subject myself to this just unwarranted, unnecessary drama. And they sitting comfortably behind a computer somewhere. And they get a kick out of causing you problems. Yeah. Same thing. They doing a lot of stuff down in Dumaguete, which is only right. Certainly if you, I think Paul spearheads this. He has something to do with it. Because Paul has a lot of influence. I'm talking about Old Dog New Tricks. Okay? When you gain that type of notoriety, when your content is about the Philippines, about the culture, and even the women and the people, then you've got to give something back. I was giving back long before my channel even got started. It was just the universe rewarding me for all those thousands that I had given away long before my channel was even discovered, man. The universe will pay you back. This isn't some person I'm talking about. This isn't some man. I'm talking about the laws of the universe. The same as if you get on my roof and jump off, you're always going to come crashing to the ground. You're never going to go flying up in the air. Because the law of gravity, the minute you jump, the law of gravity takes over. It's the same with mental laws. But we don't believe it. He said, Cal got me to come here, best decision I made. And you've been helping people best you can. You can't help everybody, but that doesn't mean that you can't help the people that you can. And that's really all I do, man. If you only knew, guys. If you only knew. That's why they love me here in St. Carlos City. I can't go anywhere and people don't know me, man. It makes me emotional sometimes. I be like, man, it doesn't matter why. They treat me so much better than I've ever been treated at home. Because they know I'm not over here fooling with their daughters. And all of that. Causing trouble. My reputation is as good as it's ever been. So when they lobbed those charges against me, the city leaders came to my rescue, man. Y'all don't know how that made me feel, man. Because otherwise I'm doomed. I don't have a chance in hell. I'm like Pro-Life Traveler. I'm like any of the other ones that they accuse me, because that's all it is accusation. They did me the same way. They looked through my channel. Because these old damn Kens, they'll send them a few videos and look, here's what he said about Filipinos on here. And look what he said about them on there. And now it's up to the Filipino authorities to look at it. And now it's up to them to interpret it. You see, man, if you're a vlogger and you've talked about dating, listen to this before I get off of here. Because I know Merlin's in there cooking lunch. And you talked about relationships, age gap relationships, anything, the dating sites. You've already said something that they can interpret as disrespecting Filipino women. You've already said it. Okay, the only reason she wants you is because of the money. The gold diggers. Okay, all of that, man, okay? Oh, you're going to sleep with them the first night. All of that, guys. All of these hypocrites out there who are making all this content like that, but then they got the nerve to turn that one finger at somebody else. 3 of them is pointing back at them. This is what you deal with over here, man. It just gets so tiring. You know. But yeah, I want to finish this list before I go. Language barrier. Number 7 is lack of information. Remember, I told you there's no, in the West anyway, in America, you get no promotion, no marketing about the Philippines. No one in my family had ever heard of the Philippines till I started coming over here. So lack of information, limited knowledge about the country and its attractions can make planning a trip seem overwhelming. Okay? That's one thing that vloggers, just normal vloggers like me, people aren't doing documentaries and stuff like that. It's what we've done. We promote the Philippines. We market the Philippines, but they don't give you credit for that. That's the only reason why a lot of guys, you see what Raymond said. He said, Calvin's the reason why I came here. Best decision I ever made. Nobody sent him anything in the mail. He didn't cut on TV late at night and they running an ad about the Philippines and Delta's got special prices to the Philippines. You ain't seeing none of that over there. We're doing that. Cultural differences. See, it keeps coming up. It's cultural. Fear of navigating cultural nuances and unfamiliar customs may hold some travelers back. Man, I'm going to have to wrap my mind around this and make a video that y'all listen to about culture and how big it is and the difference that it makes. That you just can't say all cultural differences and then keep on going. When you say cultural differences, you're saying a lot, man. You're saying a lot. Certainly when you start coming over here getting involved in relationships. Anytime you find yourself getting frustrated in the Philippines, always remember it's cultural differences. You're not at home. It's not supposed to work the same way here as it does there. That's going to solve 90% of your problems over here. Oh, well, why is the mall open up at 10 o'clock? Why does it open up at 8? Because it's the Philippines' way of doing business, man. It's not yours. Why do they want the exact change when you go up there? Just take my 1,000 peso bill. Don't ask me, do I got 15 pesos? Okay, you're in the Philippines, guys. This stuff that drives you crazy, it's cultural. It's all cultural. What you eat, what you breathe, what you do, how you do it, what time they do it. It makes a difference. But you think you're just going to come over here and things are going to be the same way as it is at home. She wants you to meet the family. When I met my American wife, anytime I was dating in America, man, it'd be years, sometimes or months at least, before I met the family. You know, they bring you around usually on a holiday or something, 4th of July. They didn't just intentionally take you to the parents and say, here, this is my, it's Calvin, this is my new boyfriend who I've been telling y'all about. And all of that. And you sit around. See, when they take you there, remember the language barrier, they're asking her all the questions about you, but they're smiling. You don't know what they're saying. They're vetting you. It's all cultural, guys, but it's a big deal. Travel logistics, we already said it. It's a big deal coming over here. Environmental concerns, and then we can say, like a lot of the guys were saying, some people don't come here for the infrastructure. I don't know who that would be. I never knew anything about the infrastructure before I came to the Philippines. That's not one thing I looked up because I wasn't going to work over here. I just wanted to come over here on vacation. I wasn't worried about how many tourists came to the Philippines before I got there. Just stupid shit, man. that y'all just want to argue. It's just the American mindset. Who worries about that stuff, guys? Nobody for real. You want to be smart. That's why I stay out of the comment section for the most part. I gloss through it to see if anybody's trying to get in touch with me. But for the most part, man, people just want to be important. They want to be seen. They want to prove how smarter they are than you. 80% of, according to YouTube, are not even watching the video. They're commenting on your title. But he said, Sunshine Shoulders, we are both insurance guys. We understand what if. We know things can happen, so we don't go looking for it. Sometimes it comes at us, though. Yeah, it does. It makes great sense. You know, you want to be prepared. But remember, you become what you think about. Okay? Don't let it be a self, what do you call that? When what you're talking about happens to you. A self-perpetuating, what do they call that? He said that may have been the original intent, but using that to justify every modern application of the law is a stretch. Most people giving a few pesos aren't supporting the game. Yeah, but you are killing the motivation. You are making it easier for them to just stay out there. Yesterday, there's a little guy, I'm going to 7-Eleven. He says, hey, Sunshine Shoulders, right? So he's opening up the door for me. So when I came out, I gave him a hot dog and a drink. I didn't give him no money. And that's all you have to do. I wasn't going to give him any money. Yeah, self-fulfilling prophecy. Thank you. My man, Marilyn walked in here and it messed my thinking up. And she got on these shorts over here. Well, you put on something. Before I move and show these guys what you got on. Yeah, self-fulfilling prophecy. Us Ronin Traveler. We don't want that either. So yeah, just come over here and enjoy yourself, man. You know, certainly if you're a tourist and an expat, just like he said, and just like Michael Beecher Life, he's somewhere near Alona Beach having the time of his life. He doesn't have haters. He doesn't have trolls. Nobody's coming after him. Oh, he's next. Nobody's filing false charges against him. And that's what's going to be with y'all. But the minute you want to get on here and fate shows up and puts you in front of a bunch of people, it's like, dude, you'll be like, man, what have I done? But you can't let them win. Most people come over here, man, they're in the province somewhere. IT Park somewhere. Nobody bothers them. They're like, man, this, like Raymond said, it's the best decision I ever made. I should have been over here years ago. He says there are government assistance programs meant to help people in poverty. Well, they just don't have the tax base over here. Excuse me. Like they do at home. It's very few safety nets. Okay. Watch that video and it'll show you what's really going on here and around the world. But because our taxes are so high over in America, we got something to fall back on. That's why when guys, you know, they're afraid to draw child support. I mean, not child support, sorry. Unemployment. And apply for disability. Like, what you've been paying for this stuff all your life? What are you ashamed of? You may have to temporarily accept government assistance. Well, that's what you're paying into the system for all those years. My mother calls that foolish pride. But over here, it's not like that. They don't even have a, man, it's not even, they can't even scratch the surface of the safety net that we have in America. You know, I can say that. Of all the things, you know, people want to talk about America. America has that safety net. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. But also what you're going to see, Lawyer Up 100 over here, is you're going to see people literally pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. Whenever poverty is that bad, you always have people who are going to rise up out of that. Okay, they've been raised from the dead. Okay, everybody else is dead, but they've been raised from the dead. Their persistence, their resilience. It's like, no matter what, I'm going to make it. See, that's how poverty does you. I come from poverty. When my father left, man, he left us for dead. And it affects people differently. I had a brother who went to his death on drugs and alcohol. He couldn't shake it. It affected him differently. But for me, it motivated me. And it's the same way over here. Some people have given up. I can't make it. So they reach for the life preserver that the dating sites throw out there to them. That's why when I was telling y'all that we are exploiting Filipino women, technically, y'all lost y'all minds. That's what you're doing. Okay, because under normal circumstances, like Cisco said the other day, he said, if Filipinos were on the same economic, had the same money as foreigners, would there be all these age gap relationships? Absolutely not. That would be none of them. Okay? Zero. But here's the thing about Americans. Why are you coming over here worrying about the poverty all the way over on the other side of the planet when you're not worried about it at home? This is the crux of the problem Americans have. Why would you come over here worrying about all the stuff that you don't even be bothered with at home? Now all of a sudden you worried about it. I mean, you don't want to exploit it. You don't want to make it worse. But you certainly don't want to dwell on it. And I can't live here. The poverty's so bad. Y'all pitiful, man. But you got people over here that we worry about the wrong things, man. Worry about your health. Worry about your mental state. Make sure you got enough money to sustain yourself over here. All that other stuff, man, it's going to take care of itself. That's what you need to do. Stop worrying about that stuff. You have no control. What do they say in recovery? Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's what you need to do over here. Sit down and shut your damn mouth. Mind your own business. And have a great time over here. He said, yeah, I'll be honest, if someone's opening the door at the 7-Eleven, I'll find another 7-Eleven. Because they're everywhere. That's a great business plan over here. But at the same time, it's a reality. So, like I said, you can't help everybody, but you do what you can. You just don't know how close you are to changing somebody's life over here. It's because the guy was like, Cal, you can ask Marilyn, she's right here right now. Do we help somebody every day? Do we help somebody every day? He said, Cal, there's no way you can help somebody today. Yes, you can. It's very easy to do that over here. Okay? It's easy. You don't have to do it. I'm saying I have to do it for my conscience, just because I know that I can't be living my best life and close by people are starving. Now, am I going to throw away my self-preservation? No. It's always, I got to look after myself first. Otherwise, I can't help anybody. But if you only knew, man, the light that you give to somebody, man, you would change their whole life, man. They told me, the will to keep going, to make it through the day. Y'all don't understand how tough it is over here for some people. You can't grasp it. The safety net won't allow you to fall that far in America. Over here, you don't understand. So you come over here, you have a different respect for the people over here. Okay? You don't kick a man when he's down. I've turned around. Okay, I'm in the grocery store. I do this all the time. I don't do it to brag. I'm doing it to tell you how easy it is to help people. Somebody's like, Sunshine Shoulders. I mean, they act like they seen the celebrity. I'm not, okay? That's Sunshine Shoulders. Can you take a picture with me, whatever? So I turn around, somebody in line behind me in the grocery line, and they may have 1,000 pesos. They may have 500 pesos worth of stuff. I'm using my credit card. I like, put that on my bill. And it makes their day, man. That 500 that they got, it comes so hard. And just to be able to walk out of the store with not only that 500, but what they came with, man, y'all need to try that stuff. Okay? It'll build a force field around you. Even if the bad guys wanted me, man, they wouldn't be able to touch me here, man. The people would tell me. They would warn me. Hey, they talking about, yeah, that goes in my camera. That's my flash drive. But it'll give you a resume, man. See? Because my reputation is really all I've got. I'm not going to mess it up because some young woman is on Sunshine Shoulders. Hey, Mr. Sunshine Shoulders, and then that's all they'll say. Hello, Mr. Sunshine Shoulders. See, John taught me that every hello is not the same. They know I can change their life. But that doesn't mean for me to take advantage of them and be like, oh, look, I know she's struggling. All I got to do is start making these promises. I can be in them draws. See, I'm not like that anymore. There was a time in my life where I would have done that. But not today. Because I don't want to mess up the reputation I got here. I'm going to be here for a while. But yeah, all the time, you go in the store, you at the plaza, you just walking around and they see you. And you see that look in their eye. And you're like, oh man, hey, how you doing? I might bless their Gcash or something. But I'm not going to mess up my reputation for that. I got a daughter that I'm 100% responsible for. There's no telling what happens to Booby if I'm not here. Okay. She's going to be loved, but you know what I'm saying. He said, this is what makes me such where Americans want to haggle over a few pesos for the trike ride or get skin tax when they're on vacation. Man, thank you for bringing this up. Okay, because Thomas brought this up the other day, and I forgot to address it. Thank you, Cisco, for reminding me about this skin tax. Guys, this skin tax is nothing over here. Okay? And if they charging you enough skin tax to make a difference, then yeah, you need to walk away. But most of the time, it's only a few pesos, guys. They make a big deal out of the skin tax because that's content they can make. They're not cheating you like that over here. If it's something that you're not sure of, let your girl go back and get it or whatever. Ask her, they say, hey, is that a good price for that? How much do they normally charge for, a kilo of watermelon? Is it 500 pesos? No, it's 120 or whatever it is. But majority of the time, 99% out of 100, it is no more than a few pesos here or there. He said a bunch of leeches who are complaining about leeches. Yeah. Thank you. This is beautiful right here. I couldn't have said it better. We're coming over here to take. Okay, we're takers. Take. Okay, we don't want to give nothing. Watch out. They're going to scam you. They're going to cheat you. The girl's going to cheat you. You want this young, beautiful woman and everything she's going to give you for nothing. You a leech. And you sit there, you're going to ruin your whole 2 weeks vacation, haggling over a few pesos, looking over your shoulder, you can't sleep because you're thinking that the woman next to you might scam you out of 1,000 pesos or two. Come on, guys, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, it's not. I don't get, man, it's been a long time. It was 4 years ago. I'm in Manila. I told you about that tricycle driver. I had to wake his ass up He sleep, drunk, whatever it was. Hey, give me a ride up the street. Because it's burning hot. It's in June. I'm on my way to Thailand. I just wanted to go to M. Lawyer. I could have walked. I'm just trying to help him. I said, I'll give you 100 pesos. All right, he hurried up and jumped in there. But the minute we get to the M. Lawyer, now he wants 200. He takes 100 I got and balls it up and throws it on the ground. Well, I get out of the tricycle and walk in M. Lawyer. Well, here he comes. He wants to start trouble, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll kick his ass. Because he's shabooed out. He don't weigh a buck soaking wet. He don't weigh 100 pounds soaking wet. But something hit me like, Cal, you getting ready to go to Thailand. It's just 100 pesos. Come down. Give him the 100 pesos. I gave him the 100 pesos. I said, look, Jesus is going to get you. And you should saw the look on his face. He said, but I used to get pissy over that skin tax. But in the grand scheme of things, you're talking about 15 to 25 cents, not dollars. Get over yourself. You'll be okay. Yeah, it's just content, guys. They're lying to you. People over here aren't trying to do that to you. They're not saying, okay, you go to rent an apartment, and now instead of $15,000, they want $30,000. That would be a skin tax. But you don't get that, guys. You don't get that over here, man. The only time you ever gonna really get the skin tax, you jump in one of them damn taxis in like Cebu or Manila. I haven't experienced it anywhere else where they start talking about, well, how much you gonna give me? Well, just cut on the damn meter. But anywhere else, okay, now remember, I'm Sunshine Shoulders. Everybody knows me in St. Carlos City. Maryland goes to the market, not me. If I go over there right now by myself, are they going to charge me extra? Absolutely. If I go to get some bangus, which is like milkfish over there, what is it normal? Well, how much is for bangus? 280. Just say it's 280 pesos per kilo, right? You know what they're going to charge me? They're probably going to charge me 320 or something like that. 40 more pesos. But they're going to do it. But it's nothing for me to turn over the damn table and get all upset. And I'm not going to do business with you ever again. It just doesn't happen, guys. It's a lie. Now, would they say stuff like, normally if I come over here and I say, hey, my door, I got a doorknob that needs to be fixed. I'll probably end up doing it myself. I like to let the locals do it. That's being a good neighbor. The man needs a couple of 100 pesos. But, I asked Marilyn, like, how much do you usually charge to fix a doorknob? She'll tell me. I just give him 200, right? So then he'll come over here and I say, well, how much you going to charge me? He'll say, well, how much you want to give me? Whatever you want to give me. And I'm like, see, this is when this is the red light that goes off that's saying, okay, he's not playing above board. So then you go low and then make him come up to the regular price. So if he says 300, you say, oh man, I'll give you 100. And then you come right back to that 200 and that's it. Yeah. This is facts. Ronan Travis. I'm going to read it after this. He says, thanks, Cal, as I just sometimes sit back and watch others and really see them in their interactions, body language, as it helps readjust my priorities, as it's all small stuff. So don't sweat the small stuff. And that's exactly what we do over here, Paul. We sweat the small stuff. Like, dude, you're in the Philippines. What do you expect? You must not know anything about the Philippines. I was watching now this was a good informative video today. One of the most informative Asian Jim's adventures ever done. I only watched when his wife was talking about the wages over here. She was giving you 100% facts, man. Go over there. He's talking about, she said, all wages that Filipinos make are not the same. Depends on where you live. And she was breaking it down. She lives in Tayasan. It's just a little small municipality. And she was like, some people here work for 100 pesos a day. Some 150. If you work at the city hall, you're making 190 pesos a day. She said, yeah, if you're going to Manila, some of the people make 1,000. They earn 1,000 a day. The laborer 700. She said, but here, a laborer, a skilled worker is only going to get 400, she said, per day, and a laborer 200. Let that sink in, man, when you guys are sitting over here trying to be cheap. And somebody's working out in that hot-ass sun for 200 pesos for the whole day, not an hour, you cheap-ass bastards. Y'all get on my nerves talking about a skin tax. And you over here exploiting poverty. And that video went all over your damn head. You supposed to come over here and get something for nothing. Y'all give me all the damn content I needed for the rest of my life, if I really wanted to. But I talk about myself. But y'all be too cheap, man, over here. People ain't waiting at the airport to scam you. You can see straight through their scams. You can see the timeline of their scam, guys. You can stop it at any time. Be like, hold on, man. Here, just take this. You can just walk away. You can already see it. It's that clear. Okay, same with the woman. She starts asking you for money and all that stuff. Walk away, man. Doesn't matter what she looks like. She's a smart Filipina's never going to bring up money. Because you're going to spend it anyway. You don't have no choice but to spend. Okay? Merlin goes to the places where there's no price clearly marked. Merlin handles that, guys. Souvenirs, whenever we go to a place, I don't lie about this stuff, man. I've been over here long enough. Okay? When we went to Bantayan Island, Manila, wherever, if we want a souvenir, I'm going on down the other way. Merlin, I go over there, Merlin, and see what they want for that t-shirt or them slippers or whatever it is. Because if I go over there, they're not going to give me the regular price. He said, yeah, my lady goes shopping for some of our things, but we shop at the SM Mall groceries for a lot of things, and they have set prices. Yeah, anytime when there's no price marked, Merlin handles that. That's her department. But sometimes I don't care. Okay. Well, Diva Soria, man. See the shirt I got on? I meant to tell y'all this. I'm glad y'all bringing this stuff up. Because I wanted to tell you, you can get American sizes in the Philippines, but you got to go to Manila. And if you go to Diva Soria, where they sell all that stuff, man, like this is an actual XL. And this shirt only cost me, how much did I pay for the shirt? $150? I should have bought 10 of these damn shirts. But I'm thinking, that thing ain't going to fit me. Man, it's so comfortable, stretchy, good material. Diva Soria is like they're wholesalers. I mean, any and everything you ever wanted to buy, and it's over like, it's so many blocks of all this stuff. Flashlights, rubber shoes, Jordans. You know, they fake Jordans. Shirts, jeans, short, whatever you want. Keychains, phones. It's all there, man. And this is where, when you see all these little stores in San Carlos City that sell all this stuff, that's where they get it from. He said, yeah, it was hilarious when they say it's up to you. Yeah. That's, you know good and well something's going on when they do that. He said, Jesus will get me later, but Red Horse is going to get me now. Yeah, with that extra 100, he was going to get some more shabu. You know, he ain't even trying to get nothing to eat. Just like the other day, see, sometimes I've been over here long enough, I kind of gauge what I want to pay somebody. Like the guy who went up there and set the trap for the rat and then came back the next day to get the rat out of there. I just thought, okay, that's worth $350 to me. That's a full day's pay. All he did was use my ladder to go up in that, what is that called? Where you push up to go up there. That's all he did. And I held the damn ladder for him. He goes up there, sets the trap, comes back down. Comes back the next day, gets the trap, takes the rat wherever. I gave him $350. You could see it in his face. He was so happy. It was like he hit the lottery. because that's a lot of money, man, for somebody just hanging around. He don't have a job. There's no job opportunities for him. Okay, you will know, but I'm not going to try to cheat anybody over here. And I'm certainly not going to lose sleep over somebody trying to get an extra 50, 100 pesos out of me. He said, Chang always gets the meat, the fruits, and the vegetables. Yeah, that's Merlin's job. They're cool with me, but I know she'll get a way better price. Yeah, I can go over there now. I'm Sunshine Show as hell. He said 34 waist, 28 length jeans everywhere. Yeah, have you ever been there, Mike, to Divisoria? I know Kaz does. I mean, it's everything you can get there, man. There's nothing, I promise you, you ain't gonna get no out of stock at that place. It's just blocks and blocks. It's over there by the Chinatown in Manila. I've never seen anything like it, man. It's crazy. I mean, but the thing is, it's just so packed. I mean, with bargain hunters and just people who are meddling and everything. But I was shocked at the way this shirt fits me, man. I mean, they really got some good stuff. You know, it's knockoff, but I mean, this shirt, I thought it was going to be shrinking and all that. No, I've already wore it like 3 times, washed it 3 times. No lint on the damn thing. It's a black shirt, you know, black jaws lint. Go to Divisoria, man. But you need to go early because it's packed over there. I mean, the traffic, it just makes your head hurt. If you got your own transportation, good. You're still going to sit in traffic all day. Grab won't come. Okay, if it's Grab, they want to meet you down the street away from the traffic. It's that crowded there. You heard about the Manila traffic. Well, you're going to see it if you go to Divisoria, go to Chinatown. No, they would. They got the Kens over here. He said the currents from the U.S. would not survive. Yeah, they got Kens over here, but the problem with the Kens is they're going to tell on the wrong person. See, if they start telling on these Filipinos, they're going to come up missing. It's so many Kens the people who get killed over here, when you hear about a foreigner getting killed in the Philippines, it's usually a Ken. It's usually somebody over here overstepping their boundary. Okay? Arguing with the locals. The one guy up in Luzon, it got killed not too long ago, maybe a year or two ago. He's arguing with his neighbors over the fence line. Now, I think they may have had the fence, this is true, according to the reports, 3 to 6 inches on his property, which he can't own property here, but it was. So he gets in with them. Anybody he meets in town, he's got a problem with. He's thinking he's bigger and badder than everybody else. But guess what? They killed him in broad daylight in front of everybody. No one's ever been arrested for the crime. That's what happens to Kens over here. Okay? I'm sorry. He said peace goes to the... Yeah, because that's what it is. Over here, a Ken is just a white guy over here. Not all white guys, but they're white. And they're over here and they with that control stuff, with that policing bullshit that they do. And, you know, they're better than everybody else. And look at me, I'm doing it the right way. If you don't do it like this, you're doing it the wrong way. They're self-righteous. Okay? They're over here, man. Those are the people I was running from, not realizing they took up camp here. They're here, man. Certainly if you're a vlogger, you see them. Or if you watch it, you'll see them. You know, they're always trying to get somebody in trouble. Always talking about what somebody else is doing and everything like that. And it's like, why would you come all the way over here with your bullshit, man? He said, yeah, I remember, you saying you stayed in Mexico in the past. I'm curious to know the difference between the Philippines. I just vacationed there. I never lived, but Ron Serrano lived there. He can give you more information than me. But I did see the similarities when I was there. Okay, I stayed there for 1 week with my wife, my American wife, in Playa del Carmen. And then I went for 10 days to Cancun by myself. And I guess because I'm in the resort areas, the people, this was before I came to the Philippines. They just treated you so well, man. I mean, they really did. So when I get to the Philippines, it's similar. But when you think about it, it's not that surprising because the same people that colonized the Philippines colonized Mexico. So it's they have a lot in common. I mean, a whole lot. He said, I'm actually working on a plan to bring my wife back to the Philippines someday. She left as a teenager and has never been back. Would love to just go so that she could see home again. Yeah, I would just make a trip. I would just plan a trip. She would love it. Because a lot of Filipinos are doing that now. Turn it down a little bit. And they're shocked at what they find out. And they really reconnect with their roots again. Now, does your wife still speak the language or does she? Has she lost that? He said, yeah, I drive. He said, I bought a truck here, but I let her dad drive in town and I drive on trips out of town with the windows tinted. Yeah, it's just better for me. No grab, just strikes. Yeah, I'm 6'2". Yeah, that would be crazy. 6'2" in a trike. I'm 5'8", and man, they always got to tell me, watch your head, because everywhere you go here, the tricycles are different. They got their own design. I noticed that a long time ago. Some of them in Manila, they're just so small. I mean, you're in there like this. You can't even look straight. They're very little. But now a lot of them got those little 3-wheel electric things in Manila. But most of them, man, you down there in that little side car like this. But over here, they look the same, but some of them are just thinner than others. I like the long ones. They're a little bit taller. Like, I love the ones in Dumaguete. I don't care how big you are. You can fit in them damn things. You can stretch your legs and everything. Oh, yeah, she's forgetting. Well, it would almost be like me going, well, I've never lived in Africa, so no, it wouldn't be the right comparison. But by her living here before, because it's beautiful over here, she would love the weather and the beaches and stuff and just the affordability, certainly compared to America. See, what we do is we start comparing the Philippines against places we've never been. Oh, it's cheaper in Thailand, Vietnam, and stuff like that, right? And you've never been to these places. You're just going by what people say. I guarantee you that it's cheaper than where you come from. Most of the stuff. Cars, no. You buy a car here, it's going to cost you about the same, if not a little bit more, than what you paying in America. But rent and all that stuff is a lot cheaper, man. Hotels and Airbnbs, yeah, it's a whole lot cheaper. Renting a condo and all of that, it's so much more affordable, But what's the next one on here? Because I want to finish this list before I might have already finished it. Yeah, I did. But they were talking about, safety. See, that's the number one reason. Safety, okay, and then you combine it with, okay, number one is perception of safety, and then number 7 is lack of information. When you combine them two together, That's what messes the Philippines up, because everybody thinks the fear of kidnapping, which you're not going to go anywhere near the places where you would be in danger of being kidnapped. And when you do hear about people being kidnapped in Manila and different places like that, it's usually Asians, like South Koreans, Chinese, really they're kidnapping each other. It has something to do with gambling, loan sharking, some type of business, because they know that your government is not going to pay the ransom, and your family's not going to pay ransom. But the typical just Westerner coming over here, you don't have that to be worried about. Yeah, be knowledgeable of it, so you won't go to Baziland or where the headquarters is, a Honolulu and Tawi. And then here, take it a step further. Understand why it is that they hate your ass down there. They don't just hate you just to hate you. There's history there, guys. We don't think history matters. There's a reason they don't like Westerners down there. Okay? A lot of the problems that they're dealing with is a result, certainly, of Americans and Spanish. Okay? There's a reason they don't want you down there, and they don't like you. It's what your governments are doing. They just don't hate you, because at the end of the day, they're still Filipinos. Okay? Yeah, but his situation is different. Everybody knows, all you got to do is read between the lines there and see what happened to him. Okay? I was in a more dangerous area than Elliot Eastman, but the problem was I wasn't dealing with somebody's ex. It had a lot to do with jealousy that got him killed, man. You know, Elliot Eastman was an innocent victim, man. He was just in the wrong place dealing with the wrong woman at the wrong time. Okay, and he ruffled the wrong feathers. Look, guys, this is what I'm telling you. Why you think the State Department says reconsider your travel to Mindanao? They know a whole lot more about it than me and any blogger, and you certainly. They say reconsider because they know what's going on down there. They know that there's certain spots down there that are real shady. You know, and you got, I believe Elliot Eastman ran into some religious, misunderstandings and everything like that. Maybe they thought he was mocking their religion. You know, because if you date a Muslim woman or want to marry her, you have to convert. You know, maybe they thinking, oh, he's mocking the religion. But it had a lot to do with jealousy, because he didn't have no money, man, like that. You know, that's not how the bad guys work over here, guys. It's all in the paper. They never came forward asking for a ransom or anything like that. That's how it works over here. They get you in one of these resorts off one of these ships, and they take you to Baziland. Okay? Where the headquarters is. Then they make a film of you with them holding that rusty knife against your neck. And they'll make you say something. That's the MO. It's not barging in on you where the hell. Elliot Eastman had been there for how long? He had been there for a long time, man. He didn't just show up and the bad guys came and got him the first day he got there. I'm sorry. Yeah. I would never blame the victim, but he was just dealing with the wrong woman, I guess, you know. He said, yeah, he was very green. Even if he loved or married her, he should have moved her to a safer island away from that type of energy. Yeah, not even the same, just a different place. But, okay, there's a guy, but let me tell you the power of the pussy. I'm not gonna say punani and all that because that's all the language y'all really understand. I've got a guy who I chat with all the time. His wife, he got married to the woman. They don't live too far from where Elliot Eastman was. Okay, and not only that, but right after Elliot Eastman got kidnapped and the armed forces and police were looking for, they had a shootout in this guy's hometown where he lives now when he's in the Philippines. And they killed two of the people who were supposed to have been responsible for Elliot Eastman. And you tell him the story, he don't care because he's there with his wife. He thinks he's safe. And maybe he is. But this is why people end up getting hurt in these old sketchy situations. Americans, we're like that, guys. You know, kidnappers don't deter us. Terrorists don't deter us. If we want something, we're going to go get it. It don't matter how dangerous the people, how they always say that, they'll tell you. This guy's living right in the throes, right up the road from where an Australian was actually kidnapped and held captive for 18 months by the Abu Sayyaf. This guy's living basically in the same neighborhood, but they don't want to hear it because the pussy is there. Okay, I'm sorry. Some of you guys take those women and move them to a safer place for you. She's safe. You're not safe. Yeah, it's crazy. But he's not the only one. Where Elliot Eastman was, you very seldom see foreigners there. I was in Zamboanga. I was in Zamboanga City. You see foreigners there. You go to immigration, but they're not going to bother you there. It's too many witnesses. It's too many police and military and drones and all that stuff there. But they will blow up a hotel or what you call it, pension house, if the owner's not paying the rebel tax. That's what you got to be worried about. Nobody's going to kidnap you down there. They don't have anything against you. You know, even when they told me, even when I found out about Zamboanga, it was too late. I'm already involved with the woman. We already have a son, so I've got to be there. So, you know, I didn't go. Wherever they told me don't go, I didn't go. There's a lot of beautiful stretches of beach down that area. We couldn't go. They took my son to Bosniland because her sister is married to a man. And the man's sister is married. Her husband is from Bosniland. So they all took a trip over there with my son when he was a baby. And they wrapped him up like a mummy. They didn't want, you know, because that's where they are, guys. But I never had any problems. He said, I was just playing cards in New Mexico and having a good time. Whites, blacks, and Native Americans who gave the business to us about how whites mistreated other whites, blacks, and Native Americans. Yeah. That's almost like the one said YouTubers talking about YouTubers YouTubing and something crazy. Yeah. It's just so many other places, guys, we can go where you don't have that problem. You know, if I'm going to be in southern Mindanao, I'm going to be in Davao. Okay, that's why I know I'm going to be safe. If you start coming up north, Cagayan de Oro, Dipolog, and Surigao, but when you start going down there in those other places, man, you're taking a risk. You know, you're taking a risk. You know, as much as I like Zamboanga, they've got a history there, but it's a whole lot better now. Zamboanga just looks like any other expat alley city now. They got the big SM mall, the big KCC mall. They got the airport, immigration. It's a expat alley city. but it has a history, and it's right there. Excuse me. It's the port of entry to where the bad guys come. So if you're gonna live there, man, just stay in where you live and go where the locals go. You know, Paseo del Mar. They go to the that's the nice place where the restaurants and bars are. It's right on the ocean, and then because Zamboanga is a beautiful town, man. It's just got that reputation. Then they got that old cathedral right next to it, and just keep your head on a swivel. You'll be okay. I never came out at night. But once they told me what was going on down there, I did have an uneasy feeling. But where I live, man, the people were just so nice, man. I lived in Riverville, and it was a squatters area, which the squatters area just means the people don't own the property. They had nice houses back there. They just treated me so good, man. And then the people next to us, that squatters area was all Muslims. The tricycle drivers that I used were Muslims. They all knew me. You know, I didn't have any problems, but I still watch my back, man. So I don't know. You know, I would heed the advice of the experts. In Davao, you're not gonna have a problem, guys. Cagayan de Oro, you're probably not gonna have any problems. The Pollock, even General Santos, but the thing about General Santos is there's a lot of MPA there. And MPA really don't bother you, but they'll do something like this. Like my Filipino wife, her grandmother used to live in Cebu land. May she rest in peace. Where the NPA are. See, they're around Dumaguete. Well, anyway, they took over her house. They made her move out, and everybody that was living in that house move out. So she was gone. She had to go down to Zamboanga for about a year. And then all of a sudden, just as quick as they came, you know, they left. And she was able to go back home, and they never bothered her again. But that's the kind of stuff that the NPA would do. They may decide they need your house for the headquarters or whatever. I don't think you're going to sit too well with that. But more likely, you're never going to come across anything like that. But it's just the risk of it. See, like Michael Beach Life corrected me, that self-fulfilling prophecy may end up, you know, you become what you think about. If you're down there thinking, how they going to kidnap me and everything. Because believe it or not, when you look at Eastman's videos, that's all he was talking about. I don't know if he was doing that trying to gain traction and get views, because he said it. I want to have a successful YouTube channel so I can stay over here. He didn't want to go back to America. So maybe that's what he was saying, but he kept on putting that out there in the universe. And you'll see him making videos. You'll hear the motorcycles coming by. I got to hide. That could be the kidnappers. They could be the bad guys. He just kept doing that. Maybe he knew something that we didn't know. He said, if I ever repatriate to the Philippines, I'm sorry, but I would not live in Mindanao under any circumstances. Why risk it? Yeah, but you know, Americans, we don't think like that. Because, like I said, Davao, then over in Davao, you got Samal, Samal Island, and those Canadians were kidnapped from there. And, yeah, that's what happened. They got their head chopped off. You know, they don't be playing, man, when they get you. And this is what people that sticks in their mind. Elliot Eastman will forever stop people from coming to the Philippines. He's like that flashing red light, and they'll never get over the fact of what happened to him, and they're gonna be like, I'm not going. That's enough for me. Yeah, I'm getting ready to get off here now. It just gets interesting sometimes, man. You know. And remember, I got all this energy now since I quit, since I'm on my fast. And hell, I ain't got nothing else to do. But yeah, thank y'all for your super chats, super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Shoulders. I really appreciate it. I'm going to get off here. He says, yeah, I'm in Mindanao from Canada. I'm fine. I was there fine for a long time, but, you know, if something happens to you, they're going to say, we told you. I'm not going to ever tell anybody don't go there. But there are certain areas. I bet you in, what part of Mindanao are you in? Okay? That makes all the difference in the world. Because when you say Mindanao, you know, all of Mindanao, man, Mindanao is vast, guys. It's only little spots where you don't want to go. Lanao del Sur, Maguindanao, Marawi. See, all that's like in the central Mindanao. A lot of times you have to go, if you're riding a bus from, say, Cagayan de Oro to, even if you go into like Camigan Island, you're going to pass some of those little places. Iligan. See, Iligan is where a lot of men meet their Filipino wives. Okay? It's not a dangerous place, but you're surrounded by Maguindanao, Marawi. Oh, that's right there by Iligan, guys. Y'all don't even know. You need to know about where you're going here. Okay, no, Iligan is not considered, you know, bad, but it's just right around what's around Iligan. Those hot spots that you may have to ride through on your way somewhere. I know when me and Merlin came from, we rode the bus from Davao to Cagayan de Oro. And we had to go through the Bukidnon, which is the mountains, and you go through North Cotabato. It don't get no more dangerous than that, guys. Okay? You know, but you're on the bus, you think, well, maybe I'm safe. But yeah, take care, y'all. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time. Just respect the people, respect the culture. Know where you're going, guys. Know what you're doing over here. It's not all a fantasy land. It can be if you got your facts straight. Remember, rule number 1 is going to take you farther than any other thing I've ever told you. Shut the fuck up and mind your own business. It's that simple.